Hey everyone, it's James, host and lead producer of the Weekly DADCast, streamed live at twitch.tv/weeklydadcast. Find more DADCast episodes alongside with DADCast After Dark on iTunes or go to weeklydadcast.podbean.com. If you have a question for us, email us at officialdadcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at officialdadcast. For our stream archives and other DADCast content, go to YouTube and search DADCast. Links to all of this and more in the description below. Thank you and enjoy the show.
All right. You know what? Let's get this party fucking started. All right. Let's get this fucking.
Let's get this party started.
Let's get it fucking started, dude. Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Weekly DADcast. I'm your fucking host James here. We got Claude and Skylar with me
Edgy
today.
James this week. He's got it.
Edgy James. This is what happens when James worked 40 hours, like with no real ability to do anything on his own. You get edgy James. So fucking George is still in the ghost zone looking for the kids from Stranger Things. I don't know what's going on with that.
Dude, he's been
Skylar,
gone
have you heard
for a
anything about
while. Those poor children. I can only imagine.
Yeah, he said the kid without teeth is the one he likes the best, right?
Yeah, which is surprising considering there is exactly one black kid, and you know that's George's gimmick already.
The black kids, yeah.
All about that pride.
Oh yeah.
But the easy access and the gum feel, I think that's pretty like valuable to George. So
well, the thing also is that George is really going to take the black kid under his wing to teach him about the gum feel.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. He needs to pass on his legacy.
Yeah,
what the fuck is happening here?
Well, we're just talking about gum feel, dude. Like, aren't you aware of gum feel? Like the classic sensation. That's a
it's why old ladies are so popular.
Yeah, dude. I mean, how many times have you checked out? How many times have you checked out that GILF tag, though? I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Never.
Well, you're missing out, friend.
You know, but the GILF isn't for looking. The GILF is for doing. No one goes to the GILF for looks.
I'm gonna let y'all continue down this train of thought.
Yeah, no, let's keep going. Hey guys, welcome back to the Weekly DADcast. So right now we're gonna move on. We're just gonna straight to fan questions. We got some fan questions here today. From Anonymous, we have the question: what's your must-have for any special or collector's edition that you buy? I don't really buy things.
James doesn't have money. Let me just answer that for him. My answer is an art book or a statue that's good.
I beat you there, dude. I already beat you there. Nice try. What did you say though, Claude?
An art book is like the number one because I really like art books. Mm-hmm. But then the number two is like if it's really well done, it's like statues.
Okay. For me, I prefer like a physical art book, and I'm not big on figures because I don't really have any space to put them, and also I feel like people would judge me silently and possibly out loud if I had figures.
Who gives a shit?
Man, I do. I prefer. The only special edition I ever bought was the Persona 5 one unlaunched, and that just comes with like a nice steelbook, and I like that. I like nice sturdy cases.
The special edition came with like a backpack. And a bunch of
the steelbook,
the limited edition steelbook.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The Take Your Heart edition came with that's the one I got. So one that came with a box and like
a soundtrack. A physical soundtrack would be something that would definitely like make me want to buy a special edition.
I'm in the same boat. I really like art books. They're my big favorite. I'm also a big fan of the soundtrack, but I found that a lot of times special editions that come with the soundtrack, it's not like the best thing ever because it's like the one that came with Persona 5. It actually was like a selection of songs that I think were. It wasn't like it didn't have any of the ones you'd hoped it would have, basically. And then the one that came with Nier Automata wasn't actually the Nier Automata soundtrack. I got the Black Box edition. The one that came with that wasn't the Nier Automata soundtrack. It was actually a CD recording of the Nier concert that came out before Automata did. So it was a bunch of Nier. So it was a bunch of Nier 1 music, and then it had the recording of Weight of the World.
Yeah.
The recording of Weight of the World that they did, and then I think one other song from Nier Automata. It might have been like
I know it was probably like a really high quality recording, but for whatever reason, when you said recording, I'm just imagining somebody holding up a fucking cassette playing
Oh no.
camcorder.
There are videos
the
of that concert online you can watch. It's actually really good. It just is not the Nier Automata soundtrack.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Because the Nier Automata soundtrack is fucking godlike.
Because I did buy the Nier Automata soundtrack when it came out.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
You know, they still got me later.
They did. Probably, I guess.
But yeah, so that's but I also find that figures that come with special editions are very rarely high quality. The Ryu that came with Street Fighter V special edition, actually it looks really nice. The only problem is that it does not stay in the stand. So like he'll like I used to have him like I didn't have a lot of shelf space when I was at my mom's old house, so I put him on like there was like this really weird shelf that kind of was like up by the roof. So I put him like up there along with the Persona 5 box where I have that display like above my bed basically.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd come home from school and he would just be on the floor like across the room. Somehow, like he would just flop off the stand. And the stand would still be up there and he would just be flopped off on the floor. And I think it's sturdy as hell too.
He Tatsu, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the 2B that came with the black box edition of Nier Automata is like okay. Like that's an okay figure.
Never forget the absolute quality that is the figure that came with Max Payne 3's collector's edition.
What was that? Which one was that? I don't even remember what it was.
I don't know anything about that either.
Oh, it's bad. It's real bad.
I remember what was the one that came with that game that was just a big zombie head. That one was really bad. It was like garish as fuck.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Big zombie head?
Speaking of bad ones,
It had to have been a Walking Dead thing because it was literally a giant zombie head with like a screwdriver in it or some bullshit. It looked awful.
What was that? Was it Rage 2? When they in the middle of the trailer had a commercial for the collector's edition in the trailer?
Yeah, that's right. That was pretty bad.
That's great.
Jesus, I forgot. Why'd you make me remember?
The thing for Mass Effect Andromeda where the special collector's edition version didn't even come with the game.
Yeah, it came with a big dumb like one of those like Land Rovers that they have, but it did not come with the game at all.
And that happened again just recently with what was it? What fucking game is it? It's not Red Dead. Is it Red Dead? I think it's a Ubisoft.
Red Dead's not out yet, so
yeah.
But you're talking about recently as in it came out, or recently as in
there is some games collector's edition that's coming out that doesn't come with the game.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I forget what it's called though. I don't remember what game
I think it was on last week's docket. So let me just check that.
Didn't
I also will say that,
Assassin's Creed do that before?
Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed. Which one? Was it Unity?
Yes. No, wait. Yeah, probably. I think it was Unity.
That would be Origins because that was the one that came out last year.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't on last week's docket. I was thinking of the Assassin's Creed 3 remake. Was only accessible.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the Odyssey Suspense.
I will say that I do really like steelbooks, but only if they improve bad box art. Like the Nier Automata steelbook fixes the horrible box art of the Nier Automata physical release version because you get the really, really nice artwork that Akihiko Yoshida drew, which is really nice.
Instead of boring 3D renders.
3D renders that look terrible.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the Persona 5 steelbook because I don't dislike the regular box art, but I really like the stark like black like monochrome steelbook case for it.
Yeah.
Looks really nice. It's very aesthetic. And it fits the game I think better than like the generic anime looking cover that kind of came with the regular one.
So we're gonna move on to our next question here. Thank you, Anonymous, for sending your question. This next question comes from Sarah with a C, asking, "What is your favorite dub?"
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I'm gonna also have to say Cowboy Bebop. I like Evangelion's dub, but it's not a good. I mean, it's a good dub. It's not. I always recommend that dub because of Asuka specifically, because her English voice actress speaks German fluently, whereas the Japanese actress like doesn't.
Yeah, so there's that bit where she talks on the phone with her friends.
Yeah,
And it's
but early Evangelion has some really rough spots.
yeah,
like,
they have to like get into it. Yeah.
The missiles hit all the targets. Ah!
Also, the
My
end of
favorite.
Evangelion dub is like whack in places too. Like some
yeah.
characters are godlike in it, like Shinji and Asuka again have fantastic performances in that movie. Same thing with Misato. But
Yeah.
what the fuck happened to Hyuga?
Don't worry about it.
He just they must. I don't understand. Like they must have changed his VA, and then they just recast like a random guy on the street, and it was like a homeless man. It was like a homeless black man outside, and that was who they cast Hyuga. You haven't seen the movie, but for no reason, this character comes in and he has like a very thick like urban city accent for no reason, and it's really weird. I don't understand.
Which one's Hyuga?
Hyuga's the one with the glasses.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I
I think that I want to say that original voice actor is fucking Robin from one of the Batman spin-off shows.
I don't even know.
It's very Robin sounding at points. It's like, is that him? Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah.
I'm gonna say for my favorite dub, just to be different, because Bebop's dub is fantastic, but it's not a thing I'd say is better dubbed, because this Bebop sub is also very good. Like they're like.
Well, it didn't. The thing wasn't the best dub. It was your favorite dub.
Right. I'm just saying that they're of equal quality. So I want to say something different because you guys already said Bebop, both of you. So I'm gonna say the Berserk dub is great, and I think this is a thing where it's not like technically incredible in the sense that there's still like 90s budget issues with it, where like you'll have like crowds of people that'll be like formed of 3 different guys having like different one-sided conversations with nobody, and you can tell if there's just 3 dudes kind of in the studio talking. But the thing is that the voices they got for the main cast are like incredibly perfect, to the point where I literally I can't think of them sounding any different than they are. Like Mark Riazon as Guts is actually like perfect. He's the perfect VA for Guts, and it's a fucking sham they didn't get him back for the Berserk 2016-17 dub, which means
they got dubbed.
even more dead to me.
That got dubbed.
It did in fact get dubbed.
Oh
shit!
They didn't get back the original dub cast, even though they came back for the movies. Which means that those things can go fuck themselves even further.
I've never heard of the Berserk dub before, ever.
It's great for the '97 anime. It's great.
Yeah, both the '97 anime and the movies, because it's the same cast.
Do they have the same voice actors?
Yeah, it's the same cast. The only one who sounds different is Corcus, and I like movie Corcus better. I can't tell if it's the same VA, and they just made him not do the voice because he couldn't do it anymore. Because it was.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, because it might have just been like, because Corcus in the show is voice is like the exaggerated anime rasp thing, and it was like maybe they were just like, nah, he can't do it anymore. So he talks like a normal person.
When you're done with yours, I have 2 more I want to add to like fantastic dubs.
But like Judo's voice is great, and Griffith's voice is perfect, and Casca's voice is good. I say there are times in the '97 show she's like only okay, but she's really good when it matters, and she's really good in the movie. So, I feel like props need to be given to that because of how on point the main character casting was. Yeah. Also, like FMA's dub is amazing.
Yeah.
And Bakuno's dub is amazing. Those are the other ones I'd put there out there.
I want to give props to both Cromartie High and Ghost Stories.
Okay, yeah, those are, yes. Correct.
Oh, and Black Lagoon. I can't leave that one out.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Black Lagoon's dub is fucking godlike. Penny and Stocking's dub, too.
Yes.
Yeah, those are all really good.
I was talking to Stewie about that one because it's like he watched it in the sub and he was like, yeah, no, it's a good show. He's like, I don't think the dub will be that much better. I was like, no. For like the first 3 episodes, I watched the episode in Japanese and then English, the English and Japanese, and then vice versa for the last one. It is significantly better in English. It's mostly because of how much personality Garter Belt and Stocking get in the dub. Because like
Garter Belt is so good in the dub. He's fucking.
He was like,
I
is
saw
it that much
5's
different?
got
I was
a good
like,
dub, too.
huh?
I said Persona 5's got a good dub too.
Most of the time.
Are you for real?
But yeah, I was talking to Stewie about like Garter Belt, and he's like, I don't know. I was like, listen, do you think you can actually compare Angry Black Man done by a Japanese guy or by a black man? He was like, all right, yeah, fine. I was like, yeah.
Well, clearly the Japanese man's the superior one.
Yeah, sure it
Really?
is.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. But thank you, Sarah, for sending your question. If you'd like to send in your questions, you can send us a tweet at official dadcast on Twitter, or email us at officialdadcast@gmail.com. Again, that's officialdadcast@gmail.com or at officialdadcast on Twitter. Thank you, everybody, so much for, by the way, like I was looking at our numbers recently, and I just want to say thanks to all of our listeners who come in every week to take a listen. Our numbers are slowly going up, but they're still going up, and I appreciate it every week. Thank you very much. And from there, I guess we'll just move on to weeks. I'll go first because my week is literally non-existent. I did nothing for myself this week. I was constantly working, and I'd get home from work, and I just want to go straight to sleep. I didn't even have time to shitpost that much. So Claude, how was your week?
I mean, I had a week. I saw Venom.
How'd that go?
It went. I'm not a fan of that movie. It's not
So-
awful, but it's not good.
That's disappointing to me because I'd heard that it was at least funny and bad. From
People keep
multiple people.
people keep telling me that movie is great, even though literally every other person I hear that from it says that it's bad.
So I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie, but it's not a good movie. If I had to put it on like a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 6, I guess. Maybe a 5. There's a lot of points in it that I'm like, Jesus, this is poorly written. Arguably the worst Marvel villain, and I'm not talking about MCU only, like when they started with Iron Man. I'm talking about all Marvel movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Arguably, like, top 3 worst.
Even worse is it worse than Bullseye though? Colin Farrell Bullseye
Yes.
from Daredevil. Really? Wow.
Because I at least fucking laughed my ass off at the scene where he flicked a peanut into an old woman's mouth like murderer. That was cool.
What about the bit where he
cool
killed a
was-
fly with a syringe?
A syringe, Jesus.
It's
Oh,
yeah, no,
man.
'cause he does all the stuff he does is stupid, and that movie's not good. But he's at least like likable for dumb shit. There's nothing at all to like about the villain of this movie. His motivations are very questionable in certain areas. It's like, where did you even get this idea? The main symbiote rival that you see on the trailer, so it's not even like a spoiler.
Yeah, they really spoiled that super hard in the trailer.
So here's the thing about that, and this isn't even a movie spoiler, but this is one of the things where it's like people are like, "Oh, you get really anal about like analyzing like stuff in movies." I'm like, no, this is basically being like, "What's the foundation of your movie? Are you making it on sand? Then your shit falls apart." So
Yeah,
there's a thing where the symbiote comes in, and it's when the guys in the ambulance are like, "We have to get this guy to the hospital." What's his name? Jameson. I was like, "That's a nice nod."
Yeah.
But it takes over that dude Jameson, then takes over someone else, and takes over one other woman. And then you can tell its mission is it's to go to like the villain's hideout for a specific reason. And then stuff happens with, the main characters, and then it's flash forward 6 months later. That's when like the movie really picks up 6 months later. And then you
Okay.
found out this symbiote was like flying over. I was like, okay, it did something so it can get onto a plane to go over the United States from like whatever Asian country. And the very first complaint in there it had is like, wait, this thing is shown to be unstoppable and have a one-track mind. Why did it take 6 months to get from wherever it was to an airport to fly away? And the answer is, because if it came at a reasonable timeline, the movie would not have happened and the world would be destroyed. Like,
Okay.
it's just so beyond stupid. It's like there's no rationale for why it took that symbiote 6 months to get where it got.
Right.
That's like he's like, all right, James, you have the ability to shapeshift into people or take people's bodies, and there's nothing that can stop you, and like you're kind of inconspicuous. We need to get you to get from where you are to England. How long do you think that would take you?
Like a day and a half, maybe.
Yep, took that symbiote 6 months.
Damn. I always
There's a
hate
lot
that-
more, but I don't want to complain about it.
Yeah, I always hate that like idea of like you're thinking too hard about the movie when it's just basic criticisms that are focused around the fact that the movie breaks its own rules. Like when that's a thing with fiction. Like you can make any dumb rules you want, but you have to follow them in your own story. Unless you're able to like reasonably unfollow them for like particular reasons. But that's usually for like grand scale things like like in time travel is not supposed to be a thing, but I invented a time travel or something. I don't know, dumb shit like that.
As long as it's internally consistent. Like there's some things that get a pass, but like it really depends on what it is. But no, that's not. I mean, there's other things it gets to, like fucking there's just some dumb dialogue lines. I'm like, oh god. Apparently, among all the symbiotes, Venom was a loser symbiote.
That fucking or you could just ruin the this thing.
Yeah, they had a society, and in that society, Venom was a loser. That's
Why?
canonical now.
What's the reasoning? It's a symbiote.
Because he says Eddie Brock is a loser, and that's how they bond with each other. That's how come they're friends. Because they're both losers.
Fucking stupid.
Man, I really that's really not good.
Hey, you know this thing that's supposed to make you feel like a badass? Yo, it's a fucking loser.
What a fucking loser!
Nerd.
What a fucking nerd Venom is. Carnage, fucking Chad Carnage over here dunking on loser virgin Venom.
Venom just shows up in
literally Chad Carnage virgin Venom. Holy shit!
Fucking Venom shows up in the next fucking Spider-Man movie. He just goes Parker or something. It's like just stutters on every word because he can't handle the fucking Spider-Man girth. He's too fucking
energy from Peter Parker.
Parker, I'm gonna. Oh fuck! Oh god! Oh my spaghetti!
I really want
pockets full of spaghetti.
I really want it to be the fucking Venom from the PS1 game. Like you should just put that in everything.
Oh, where he's like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, he's fucking great in that game. He's asking Spider-Man for Captain America's autograph. It's super good.
Hey, later he's playing fucking poker with everybody.
Yeah, because that's like from those things, like runs of Venom, where he thinks he's trying to be a hero.
Yeah,
he's like kind of dumb idiot who doesn't know what he's doing.
Oof, Deadpool before he was cool. Rip. Let's see. Do anything else for your week, Claude?
I did a bit more. I was trying to like look up who it was who was playing, because of course Carnage is in the end credit thing. It's like it can't be a spoiler. Everyone has to know that.
Oh, who plays that guy? That's
I cannot remember his name. That's what I was trying to look up.
Oh god, he's the guy. Okay, Skylar.
He's in a lot of shit.
He's in a lot of shit. He's the drunk from the Hunger Games, Skylar.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's the
Woody
drunk
Harrelson.
from Woody Harrelson. I was also gonna say he's the drunk from Now You See Me. He's the drunk from any other film he's in.
Man, poor Woody Harrelson.
So he's Carnage, and he has a very dumb, like basically clown hair, goddamn wig.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get a picture of what he looked like.
Looks like fucking Carrot Top.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We can't find the screenshot because, of course, not.
Oh no, Woody
But
Harrelson.
yeah,
What is
so that was that. He's making some type of money.
Is he?
Yeah,
With
no,
Venom?
yeah, he's making money. He's making money. Because it's Marvel money. Let's see. I watched Nisei and Neko Kuro Monogatari, so those two were out of the way.
Oh wow, just completely out of the way.
He did.
Yeah. Well, Neko Kuro is only 4 episodes.
Yeah, you're right. So now you have Shino Neko Monogatari.
Now he just has second season.
Yeah, second season, and then everything
separated into those arcs. It becomes very confusing.
Second
Because
season, and then everything else after that.
Because you only know, like you said, Shiro, they were looking for, which means white. But then you got, like, if you wanted to be an asshole, you'd say, oh yeah, what about Oni Monogatari, and then Kabuki Monogatari, and all
Like, oh
Jesus,
my
why?
god!
Right.
Unplug
Why?
it. Unplug it.
I'm gonna
Unplug it. And then you've got after that. Claude, you've got Tsuki Monogatari, Owari Monogatari, Koyomi Monogatari, and
I have
then
a list. Skylar gave me a list.
and
I
then
literally
Owari
gave-
Monogatari. Second season.
I did it. He has a list.
Good.
It's
You better have
there.
the list.
Yeah, I've come to the conclusion that because of certain variables on how he acts, I'm not the biggest fan of Araragi. I don't particularly care for him when it comes to him doing ecchi shit with the little girl or his sisters.
It's probably it's probably my least favorite part of the show is the stuff with the little girls. But Skylar, as the pitman that he is, he's got to make us watch it.
I'm making you watch it. That's what I'm
he's
doing.
Gun to my head, he's in my room. He knows where I live, and he's like, hit play on the next episode. Yeah, that's Skylar.
Pause on this scene, but this is the naked Tsubasa. Pause on this scene. Turn
Tsubasa.
around.
That's the most acceptable of
correct.
anyone he'd tell me to pause on.
Pause it when she lifts up her arm.
That's the correct one to pause.
Oh,
on.
I said Tsubasa.
Yeah.
I meant.
I know who you meant, but you gave him the right answer.
But you gave me the real. That's the real answer. Like that's not.
Whatever.
That's my real-
Y'all clean up cat hair. I'm out here eating fucking crab legs.
You're
Whatever.
not. No, she wouldn't touch you.
I'm
They wouldn't
eating-
associate with you. You would have gotten your mouth cut open.
Yeah.
And now I'm eating crab legs with a side of copper
No,
sauce.
James,
Nah, man.
she'd
You-
whip your ass in a fight.
You'd be lucky to be eating snake. To be honest.
Yeah,
Ew.
you'd be lucky.
Yeah, that makes me
Um,
uncomfortable.
You know, you make them uncomfortable. Outside of that, I played The Missing. Fantastic game.
Can't pick it up.
Skylar, what do you know about it?
I know that it's Never Dead plus Limbo plus Sweary, which means that I should get, or plus Lesbians, which means that I should get it.
Yes.
Yep.
That game is fucking fantastic. A lot of stuff in there, I was like, oh man, I don't know how I feel about this. Because it's like, hey, let's just say in a normal game, you come up to an area like where it's like, hey, there's vines blocking my path. And there's a source of fire. What would the normal thing to do be in a video game?
You pick up a stick, and then the stick catches on fire, and then you set the vines on fire with the stick.
Correct, but not in The Missing. In The Missing, you set
your
yourself
fucking
on
leg
fire.
Yeah.
No, you set your whole body on fire, and you are
Oh.
screeching in pain. Like you hear her screaming, and then you run up and put your flaming, like burning body on this, on the vines, and then they burn, and then you can regenerate. It's just constantly, I'm fucking my body over and then regenerating.
I fucking told Stewie to play that game before you told me about that little special thing, but I told Stewie to pick it up because he'd probably like it in some capacity.
Maybe.
If only for the self-mutilation aspect. He'd probably like that part.
You make him sound like he's a maniac.
Yeah, that's like Stewie out here is like, yeah, I love it when the girls break their own necks to solve the puzzle.
I think he does like that part. I think he does like the part where the girls break their own necks to solve the puzzles.
Their own necks? That's plural. What else happens? That's the thing, and
Don't worry about it.
No, I think because the girls were plural,
The girls were plural.
so he has to have the plural next too.
Yeah, it's proper
Grammar.
grammar, Claude.
Grammar is
Jeez.
confusing.
Claude doesn't know grammar confirmed.
oh, you're gonna do this? You of all people?
Did you just say Crod doesn't know grammar?
No, I said Claude doesn't know grammar confirmed.
Uh-huh.
Look, I speak English good, man. Don't at me.
The game is fantastic. So, like anyone, who's listening to this, fucking check out The Missing. It's a fantastic game, and not all of the elements. There's some bits that's like, yeah, they put it there for the game, but a lot of the elements for how just the game works and whatnot plays into the narrative in a way that like you figure out when you get to the end, and it's very well handled.
Yeah. For the record, the full name, because there are a couple of games called The Missing. This is The Missing, JJ Macfield, and the Island of Memories specifically.
Yeah, that's a long ass name, but yes,
It
he
is.
is correct. And then outside of that, the rest of my week was basically fucking upping my social link with Skylar.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
a lot of shit happened.
Just wait. Don't max out too fast, or you become a pitman. Watch out.
What are you talking about?
That's his character quirk, dude. That's the fucking bonus you get.
We've moved on from Lolicon Skylar to Pitman Skylar.
Yeah,
which ironically is more accurate.
It is.
I was so confused because I thought you were talking about like racing, like a pitman, like someone in the pit crew. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, okay, you're talking about fetishes.
Yeah. Skylar's IRL actual degeneracy of being a pitman.
It's fine.
Vile. And I like penis.
At least I'm not a footman.
Yeah.
I'm not. No, pits are worse.
No, I highly disagree.
I don't like either, and I'll acknowledge that feet is worse.
How is feet worse than armpits? I can
acknowledge my own degeneracy, but I still think that pits are worse.
You know what grows hair? Armpits.
Yeah,
you know what doesn't? Feet.
See, but like you.
By that argument, do you not like vaginas, James?
Yeah, they grow hair.
I think we both know the answer to that question, Claude.
Really? You're gonna lie here?
Live on my own television show, and by television. I mean,
have we upgraded?
Look, there's a reason why I don't have all that much money. Okay, look, listen. The TV costs a lot of money, Claude.
So what would you say if like you looked out your window and James was recording you from outside the window?
Well, the window is a little bit ajar, but
he's climbing in like he's centerfold.
I really want to imagine that James is somehow doing both of us. Like he's somehow outside my window and outside your window.
He is twice. That's been confirmed.
Is that why he forgets everything?
Oh. Yeah, that's why. No, that's why he has conflicting feelings. That's why Red Riot is both the coolest and no one remembers it.
No one gives a shit, but I love him though. But no one cares.
Yeah. So as far as the things that we did is like one, we finished the first season of Symphogear. It was fantastic. All of it in like 5 days. Yeah. At first I didn't know what the pace we'd be going at was, but it was so hype. And each it has a weird thing, James. I mentioned this to him before. It's like imagine like the hypest thing you've seen in a game. You're like, oh shit, that's cool. How are they gonna top that? And they do, either in the same episode or the next episode. And the bar has just been raising higher and higher and been getting more and more hype.
It's literally the platinum game of shows, and it's like that in more than one way. In that the hype escalation is constant, but it also it has cool action things in it, but it also the plot is like bordering on nonsensical.
Yes.
But that's like part of the charm is because of that as well. It's super fun. I like it a lot.
The names of the moves are super cool. Like Mega Death Quartet and like what was the one that we got hype over? Like Chris had.
Well, which one? Because all the ones we hype out are all Chris's moves because they're all just so ridiculous. It's like Mega Death Quartet. There was that was the one where we lost our shit. I think there was
was it Billion Maiden? Was that the one for like
Maiden, and then she had like it was something like Mega Zeppelin or some shit like that. It was
Giga Zeppelin.
Giga Zeppelin, yeah, that's what it was.
Those are pretty good names. I'll give you.
And all the names have like because it isn't. They don't yell the name. It's not like anime, like whatever. Instead of yelling the name of the move, they instead get like comic book style cutaways. Where it says the name of the move, and it has like everyone has their own like font and like vignetting on the screen, and
that's
so like
good.
It's super stylish. It looks really nice, and I like it a lot. It's super cool.
It's great. And then like on top of that, like while they're singing, you can look at the lyrics in the corner, and some people like Chris continues to be the best as far as that goes.
Yeah, really.
Like what was her thing? Shut up, go to hell, and what was it she said?
She said, "Go to hell and get on your knees and beg to the devil for forgiveness."
Jesus.
It was like it's so good because it's like because the show's gimmick, right? Is basically it's like a magical girl thing, but the concept for the characters is that they're basically like Valkyries, essentially, in that Valkyries would traditionally sing while they fight. So the characters in this show sing while fight. They sing in order to keep their magic thing working because it's like an outfit that they wear and they transform into. And in order to synchronize with it, they have to sing the song. Yeah, and so it's always like every single fight is like synced to music. Everyone has their own character theme. And as you get into season 2, which we started, they start leaning into the music theming, like referencing stuff a lot more. And it's really great. Like it's a lot of fun. It's like dumb as fuck, but it's like that's like 100% part of the charm of it. And I highly recommend it to people that just wanna
If you had to get rid
laugh at a thing and with the thing and just have a good time.
if you had to get rid of one, Symphogears or Flip Flappers.
That's not even. Why is that a comparison?
Why are we doing that?
If you had to get rid of one, which one do you get rid of?
I don't know.
Well,
Why?
think about
Why do I gotta?
it. That's the hypothetical.
I guess Symphogear. I mean, because it's super hype, but I mean, I can get hype other places. Fucking Flip Flappers is what made me check out other medium or other like genres as far as anime goes, and I like it a lot. I mean, I can't get rid of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good.
How long is Symphogears?
It's got like 5 seasons of 13 episodes each, and there's another one coming out in January.
Oh, so it's still ongoing. That's cool.
Yeah, it's still ongoing. Yeah.
Neat.
Also, I want to point out that first season is like budget as fuck, and you can tell. At times.
I still thought it looked good.
There were bits in it that actually looked really good. Like, so a lot of the action scenes looked pretty nice. Like, there wasn't like Sakuga character animation a lot in the action sequences, but they did really well in making sure things like were punchy when they needed to be. Especially like towards the end. The other stuff that looked really good. But it was still like kind of limited in a way with animation, and there was still some like hella quality and caps moments that were sprinkled around. But there's like a marked improvement in animation quality and art quality with the second season. Like the first season must have done really well or something, because they got like way bigger budget for G at the very least.
You know, like there was a point where he was talking about that, and I was like, I don't know, man, is it really that much better animated? And there was a scene with Chris where she kind of fluctuated something, and just her turning her head and looking at the way her hair was moving was like, yeah, no, you're right, they got more budget.
Yeah.
Like they put so much detail into such a minor thing as her just reacting to something and just how her hair was moving.
And it wasn't even like this is episode 1. We're gonna like splooge all over to make sure we impress people. We watched 4 episodes in that run we did of G, and every single one of those 4 episodes all were like had a bit in it where I was like, damn, that was a really cool cut. Like that was really good. It was consistently impressive the whole way through. So yeah.
Okay.
And more impressive than that is I actually got Skylar to agree to watch Hunter x Hunter, and that's
nice.
That is the highlight of my year.
So how deep are you into Hunter x Hunter? Are you?
Oh no, we haven't started yet.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna group watch it after we finish Symphogear once we're caught up.
Okay. Oh, you gonna go to his house and watch it then?
No, we're gonna do what we have been doing, which is over Discord. You know.
Oh, okay. Well, I might join you for that then, if y'all are just gonna be watching it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with how you work and you just like get home and you're like exhausted, would that really work for you?
I could watch like an episode, or something. I can make time.
Wouldn't that only work on the first night?
I can make time for Hunter x Hunter. It's fine.
Okay.
It's been years. Why is it now you can make time?
Now is the moment.
Because now everybody's watching it, and I want to be in on it.
He wants to be like Pat now, but he needs extra motivation.
It was not Pat that convinced me. It was Claude.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Was that all for your week, Claude?
The last thing will actually transition into Skylar's week as well, because we saw Motherfuckers
together. Yeah.
How was that?
Pretty fun. It was
pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it was like, it's one of those things where I actually looked it up afterwards. I think I mentioned it before. It's a comic adaptation, based off of a French comic book that started running in 2015. And so that's interesting. And so it kind of feels first volume or something of that comic, where it kind of has an ending where it's like, yeah, we beat like the kind of beat the bad guy, but he still like exists.
We beat a bad guy.
Yeah, we beat a bad guy, but the bad guy is still around, right? And there's like plot threads like left open because it's like, the comic obviously continues, right?
Hey, Claude, is he cutting off for you?
Am I cutting off?
Yeah, but not. It's not bad enough for me to be like, all right, stop right here, because there's not much we can do about it.
Okay.
Why is it always me? What did I do to deserve it?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, but aside from that, it was a ton of fun. Kind of like super stylish kind of thing. It was really funny to me to look at like the Japanese/French version of what America is like.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part. The French writer at Japanese animation studio covering the story like on American like gang culture.
Yeah, and so there's some really fun stuff in how that works. It's very different than like David Cage's like Heavy Rain version of America, where it's like that's weird or not at all how that works. Where this version is so stylized, it's like yeah, sure, whatever. And so it's fun to see the caricature of it, I guess.
Shakespeare's the best.
Shakespeare is also the RZA as well.
Yeah,
which was really nice. Yeah, by the way, the dub cast in this is godlike because you have like I forget who played the main character Angelino, but his friend Vince is played by one Vince Staples of Odd Future fame.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is weird as fuck. And then you had like he was like I saw he was gonna be in. I did not expect him to be like a secondary main character. Like he is like the second most important character in the movie, which was played by Vince Staples, which is super crazy to me. And then the dude who played Gus in Breaking Bad was the main villain character, and
who's
Danny
super cool.
He's really cool. And Danny Trejo was the movie's main villain guy with the gun. And with the golden gun.
The gun.
The man with the golden gun was Danny Trejo.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until the end, like when it was like done.
Yeah. The last scene is you kind of hear it, and then fucking there's someone else was Michael Chiklis, who was like the dude from The Shield. He was the hitman guy who kind of, he was that guy.
It wasn't Mr. Crocodile. It was Mr. something, Mr. Gator.
Something like that, yeah. And Mr. K was the Danny Trejo character, right? I can't remember. Yeah.
Shit was great. Like, the thing that we like, I don't know what like was the most hype for him because it had a lot of shit that was just like, we don't care. Well, not that we don't care, but we're gonna go all over the place and it's gonna be fun. Like, you see unrelated characters like a bunch of luchadors and them talking about like where they're like waiting for like Destiny to show up, and this big thing comes up like this like 1950s like, who are these mysterious masked men? I'm like, what?
Yeah. They're like because the movie has like these like I figured at the time they were like chapter splash pages like for the comic, because there's a lot of times where it'll be like the movie will denote when a new element has been added by having like a splash screen that I assume was like the big opening page of that chapter in the comic, where it'll be like, what's up with these crazy shadows? Or who are these mysterious men in black suits? Or whatever. Things like that, right? Like welcome to X location. They have these big elaborate, splash pages that come up on the screen. And the best one was one from the Luchadors, because it was so stupid.
There's also a character that does a German suplex on someone for reals.
And there was a dude that did a spiral DDT on a guy.
That was also, yes.
And I lost my shit. My favorite was the luchador punching Hitler in the face. That was my favorite.
Yes, like the replacing the Captain America cover with, instead of Captain America, make it a luchador, because these luchadors have like existed, like they're passing down the torch
for centuries. They're the guardians of the earth. Yeah.
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 But
so it's that kind of movie, which means that you should go see it.
I want to take one more shot to RZA doing Shakespeare, because like we said his name, but basically his role is like he's this fat dude, right, with like tattoo across his stomach that just says "kill," and bandana over his face, and he has like black eyes and whatnot, and like with like white irises.
He's basically a blood. Like he's a giant.
Well, he's wearing Were they wearing blue?
It was purple. It was purple and green.
Oh, that's right. Like when they got there, I was like, "Is this fucking Saints Row?" Like it was basically that. But the deal is, anytime before he does basically anything, he will quote a line from Shakespeare, say what it's from, and then shoot the person.
Yeah. So he just like all of his lines of dialogue are Shakespeare quotes, and they're always like perfect ones. Like it's not like just normal ass like pussy ass like commonly known Shakespeare quotes. It's like the deep shit from like fucking like more obscure lines that are like way more fitting for what's happening, and he was really good. He was really. He's only in it for a bit, which is perfect because I feel like that gimmick would not last for multiple hours. But he definitely left an impression when he was around. He was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I did see that this week. I guess it's like a week now. So yeah, I saw that with Claude on Tuesday. Aside from that, I've just been playing some more Hollow Knight. The game remains to be a good. It's I just got the double jump, so now I finally have all the things to move around. So that's cool. So yeah, it's going. What else did I do? I started watching Symphogear with Claude also. I guess the only thing left, I want to talk about how much I love Gridman. That's still going.
Did you see episode 3 yet?
I haven't, because I haven't been home all day. Because it came up when I was gone. But episode 2 came out, so I saw that last week. Oh, I guess I got. No, it's fine. I was saying how we went out. I did go up to visit James at Mount Dora. But I won't divulge those details though, because I want to preserve James's dignity.
Oh no, Stewie and I fought, and I lost pretty wholehandedly. Skylar was just there to report it.
I was there for posterity.
And
the line that got me the most was when you two got tired and you were just like, Titans.
It's a video that no one will see because it's less James's dignity and more Stewie's dignity.
Yeah. Nobody expects much from me, but Stewie, like, come on, you gotta respect him.
Yeah, all right. So that happened on Sunday. But aside from that, all I did this week was I watched Gridman. Gridman was really, really good. I'm like,
have you seen Katakuri Circus yet? I
still haven't seen episode 1 of that. I still haven't seen it. So it'll happen eventually. I'll watch it eventually. Yeah. I mean, like Gridman. I think with Gridman, that's getting me is how, like they're doing things that's like, man, this is like actually like they actually like are doing the Toku thing. Like they aren't like, just like, oh, we're doing a Toku adaptation, but it's gonna be anime stuff. Like they're actually like, you can tell the dudes love like Ultraman and shit. Like the way I talk about is they're doing a thing where they're really focusing in making the plot about things in Toku that you don't think about. So like, I guess an example would be that like, when you watch like Super Sentai or Ultraman or whatever, and they go and they fight a big dumb kaiju in the city, and they get knocked down all the buildings, people get exploded or whatever, and you are like, wow, look at all this destruction, and the next episode everything's fine, and everything got rebuilt, and like whatever. Gridman is like kind of about that, where like the kaiju keeps coming up and they destroy the city, and then in Ultraman you assume that someone was in the building and died, but you don't really talk about that when the building gets blown up.
It makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, but then in Gridman it's like, oh, everyone just forgets. Like, oh, they died years ago. They never existed.
Except for the three main characters, and then one was, well, not three main. Yeah. There's some outliers, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's like, that's kind of cool. So they're being kind of meta with some stuff, but also just like, I really like how they're focusing in on like the non-kaiju aspects of Toku series, where it's like which is like the thing that I most remember about Power Rangers, to be honest, and the part I am most nostalgic about, so I'm like kind of liking that a lot. And also there's like the insane references to things. Have you guys been like seeing other things where like all the references to like obscure ass shit? Like the character designer did designs for Transformers toys, so every single character in the show is a reference to a Transformer.
I did see that. I thought that was made up stuff. I didn't know that was real.
No,
I
dude,
did not see
the
that.
one that's crazy to me is Akane's character, whose design is a reference to literally a specific Nega Optimus Prime toy, which is Optimus Prime. He's purple, and it's a one that has a cracked visor on it, which is crazy because you see Akane puts her glasses on, and the glasses are cracked in the same way, and it's like, what the fuck?
That's
Dude,
pretty good.
It's
Damn.
pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, This Gridman, is this like the first season of it, or is there other Gridman related stuff?
Okay, so Gridman.
Because this is Gridman like quadruple S, isn't it?
Okay, yes. Okay, so the thing is right. So this is why is really weird to me. So the show is called SSSS Gridman,
Yes.
which is okay. So you know how Super Sentai is
Super Sentai. Super Sentai Super Show is how I interpret that.
Okay. No. What I'm saying is, you know how Super Sentai is the Japanese show that Power Rangers is,
yes.
right? So, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, cyber with an S because America in the 90s,
Yes.
is to Gridman what Power Rangers is to Super Sentai. So Gridman is a toku show from the 90s, right? About some shitty kids in Japan who make a computer that accidentally connects to the computer world, and they find Gridman, and the plot happens. And then the American version of that was Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. And so now this is this. And so they are acknowledging both things. So this is like a Sentai adaptation that acknowledges Power Rangers.
Okay.
What's cool is that I haven't seen episode 3 yet, but some people talking about it. There are characters in episode 3 that are in the show that are just the characters from the American adaptation.
Oh
like
boy.
they're just in it, and they're the
I
same.
thought you were gonna say what was cool was how the artists were forced to make Rika thick.
Oh well, that's cool too.
Yeah.
The director is a man of culture. And he mandated that the best character design of the year be made. May God.
Have you seen her, James?
I have.
May
It's
God
quality.
bless him. Yeah.
Do you have the link to the specific quote he said?
Isn't the quote like make her thighs thick and her
Make her
ass
thighs-
fat?
Yeah,
Yes.
literally. And then my favorite part of that article, how he said that he wanted them to make Akane like him if he was a high school girl, which is really worrying because of that character and how she is.
I like her a lot, actually.
She is fantastic. She's really one of the best parts of the show, but it's like, you know...
Like, the motivation for her is the best. She's like, this motherfucker bumped into me in the hall and didn't say sorry. Gotta kill him.
Gotta kill him.
Uh,
That bitch knocked the sandwich out
Not
of my hand.
just kill him. Gotta kill him with the kaiju as hard as he can be killed.
Gotta blow him up with
Wait,
the
she's the
kaiju.
villain?
Yeah,
And then
she's villain.
And then, like, the main villain who's, like, chill with her and just talking to her is like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I can make that happen. Let's do
Dude,
this.
I love him, that villain guy, because he's just like, he's not even like he isn't like, yeah, we got. He's like, yeah, this bitch is crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
he's just around to enable. It's like so far that's all he seems to be doing, and that's really fun as well.
He doesn't come across as some, like, over-the-top evil cartoons villain. What do you remember what he said when she kicked over the computer and the screen was cracked?
I forget, but I remember it was a pretty good line. He said like, I don't know, it was something like passive aggressive about how she got angry.
I'm actually gonna look that up right now.
Also,
But Skylar, you never actually answered my question.
What was your question? I didn't
My
hear. question
was, can I watch SSSS?
Oh yeah,
Gridman?
you don't need to know anything about anything to get it.
Okay.
Really,
I'd also like.
all the
I would
references are all like surface level, so it's just
Okay.
like you kind of like, oh yeah, I recognize that kind of thing.
Okay, I would like to also remind you we are at 55 minutes and we haven't gotten to Waifucast yet.
That's fine.
Okay, the line he says is like, ouch, 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 so violent. And
Yeah,
then-
that's right. Yeah. I also gotta point out that that Samurai Caliber is the best, and that the gag,
It's so fucking good!
the gag with the door killed me.
Oh, when he tried to... Yeah!
That
James watched this show.
I planned on it. I did.
And
now
also,
that I know it's standalone, that's good.
I gotta say that I also mentioned that all of the figures in Akane's figure like display cases are all Ultraman villains.
That's great. I noticed
so,
that. Like, Jesus Christ, there's a lot there.
Yeah, so that's cool. So yeah, this show is a thing where you can clearly tell that everyone making it is in love with it and they're having so much fun. And director Amamiya is adorable in that he's like the biggest Ano fanboy.
Oh, is he?
And that like bleeds into the show also because his directing style is like very similar to Ano's.
Nice.
And so the show has like this. It's really well done. Like dialogue scenes and like direction and stuff like that. He's really good at it, which is surprising considering the only things he's done before this were Inferno Cop and Ninja Slayer.
I don't see the problem.
Those things are bad. It's just like pace. But
don't worry about it.
Telling you about this guy because remember Inferno Cop exists because they had free time and they wanted to fill it. So this is that level of like he wants to just make shit and have fun doing it. So I recommend Gridman a lot. Okay. I'm really digging it.
Was there anything else in your week before we move on?
Nah, that's all I did.
All right, well, with that, we're going to move on straight to the Waifucast. And if for those who are unfamiliar, the Waifucast is when we take any waifu that Claude gives us and we decide whether or not she is viable based on a number of factors. We've done the Naruto Waifucast, where we've gone through all the Naruto characters.
I think you meant Naruto Sand Ninjas.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Naruto Sand Ninjas, where we've gone through all those characters. We've just
Sand Coffin.
We've just finished the My Hero Academia Waifucast, and we've gone through all of those characters. And now I'm curious to see who Claude has picked for this week's Waifucast.
Yeah, buckle the fuck up, kids. Get ready for the Persona Waifucast, and we're starting with Yukari.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we'll start with Yukari.
Yeah,
Yukari fucking sucks. No one should like Yukari.
Fucking awful.
Look,
it sucks
listen.
Oh, are you gonna fight that one?
Listen. Let me just.
Are you gonna Google her story? Stop it.
No, I didn't Google the story. I was thinking of the Persona 4 character for some reason, whose name is not Yukari.
Yukiko,
yeah.
Yukiko would also get the same response from me.
No, Yukiko could get it. She could get the dick.
You just have seen that image of her with the thighs where her butt's really big.
No, I've seen the image of her with the goofy glasses, and I love it. I love the goofy glasses.
That is a good bit, but that's more credit to Teddy than to her.
I don't care.
The thing with Yukiko is that she sucks in Persona 4.
We gotta do Yukiko instead. You guys want to just do that?
No, well, hold on, because I'm okay with Yukari. She's not my favorite.
Nah, fuck it. We're gonna go to Yukiko now since you got a hill to fight. You want to fight on? It's first ever switch up. Baton pass over to Yukiko.
Unprecedented.
Baton pass to Yukiko.
Fucking the deal with Yukiko
viable
is that she sucks in Persona 4, and I don't like her.
She sucks incredibly so.
She's like her social link is the most thing ever. Where it's literally I don't want to do a thing because I don't want to, and I feel like I need to do it. Except she finds out that what she really wants to do is the thing that she didn't want to do in the first place.
That's not shitty. But she's rich.
Which is the thing.
She's not rich. No, she is not rich.
Doesn't her family own?
They
own
the inn. Which is
they own the inn. That's like being like, oh, I own a restaurant. I'm rich.
I own a family. And the inn is popular. Like it's like a big inn, but it's not like she's not blowing up the world. It's a fucking
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of
What the fuck are you thinking of, James?
How many characters are you just mixing in your head? Is it another character with a Y?
Everyone
Yosuke. I'm thinking of Yosuke. How his doesn't his dad like run a store?
Bruh, he works at Junes. He's like a
he works at Junes. He works at Junes, but his parents own like a small store, and he's mad that he works at Junes.
No.
That's
not a thing at all.
What? I could have sworn there was a
slave.
This is why I didn't want to do a Persona Cut.
No, I could have
big discuss.
I could have sworn there was like a subplot about working at Juness despite the fact that it's kind of running smaller businesses in town.
No, he didn't. No, his deal for part of it was that I think he didn't want to be stuck. I'm actually trying to remember that now.
Well, Yosuke,
or maybe it was a joke thing I saw later that was about like, being stuck in middle management and some shit. I think maybe that was a joke thing I saw later.
Yeah. Yosuke's social link is about how he's dealing with the death of the girl from the beginning of the game.
Oh fuck, you're right. All right, so all right, now I remember. It was the thing I saw about him years later where he was just like middle management at. It was a fan thing. Okay.
It was like I think it was a fan joke thing about what he should be in Persona 5 Arena, where he's like fucking franchise manager of that Junet Yosuke. Anyway,
depressing. He's balding.
Yukiko
Yukiko's fucking awful.
Persona
Yukiko's
4,
fine. She's got butt.
Finish. I have a statement about Yukiko that, to her defense, is that she sucks in Persona 4, but she is better in the spin-offs for the explicit reason that she doesn't have to be a serious character in those. So in Q, she's just allowed to be a dumb idiot with dumb idiot jokes, which is kind of endearing, right?
Good.
She gets a lot of those.
And then in Persona 4 Ultimax, she actually has some actually funny scenes that play up her character quirk a bit. Like the bit where she runs into Kanji and Shadow Kanji and they're arguing with each other on the street. And she's like, I can't figure out which one is the real Kanji. Now you guys have to play this fucking Japanese variety show game so I can figure out which one of you is the correct Kanji. And that's actually fun. So she's actually fun in those games, and that's just because they just turn her into a cartoon of her character in Persona 4, which is fine, because that makes her not boring.
So unlike Chie, she benefits from the spin-offs.
Yes. Okay. Whereas Chie becomes the worst.
Where does the F stake thing come from?
That's just that's what whoever did the Persona 4 like those comics or whatever. I forget what they were. It was like
Okay, it's just a mistranslation thing.
No, it's not. It's those it's a fan comic. I forget what it's called. It's something the Inaba for comas or whatever. It's like on Tumblr you'll find them. They're super popular. Those Persona 4 comics. And it was just that artist did a thing where she was like, name a 4-letter word that's not meat. And
F steak.
And she said, F steak instead of like saying fuck. That was the joke, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
F steak.
Yeah.
What's your argument for her, James? If you have one.
She has an end, so I can fuck her in all the rooms.
Okay, so that's okay.
I'm still gonna say she's not viable, but I can see why she's not the worst character in Persona.
I am voting that she is non-viable because she is the worst female party member in that game.
She is indeed the worst female party member in that game.
False. Kanji exists. I rest my case.
What?
But Kanji is the best character.
Yeah, first off, Kanji's the best. What are you talking about?
But he's the worst female character.
Kanji is best girl. That's like canon to the world.
It's not even a meme. It's widely accepted.
But the joke was that he's a dude, therefore he's the worst female character.
But what about like the other dudes though? Like Teddy exists.
Yosuke's kind of like a twink. Teddy's
like the most feminine. Like if you were taking him out.
He's the worst girl though.
Because he's Mr. Grabby Hands.
Yeah.
No, you know what? The MC is the worst girl because he's a Chad, and Chads can't be women.
I guess.
Chadettes are women.
My favorite is in the Persona 4 animation when Nanako calls him a man whore.
Yeah.
That's an amazing scene.
A man whore, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
It was good shit. When's the Nanako wife? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Never.
I'm kidding. If Skylar has his way.
Best little sister, though.
Ugh.
Perfect.
I don't like the way
she is. She's really like when you get to the ending of that game, I got some bad feels, man. Like fuck.
Yeah, man. I was super scared of getting that bad end.
Skylar, I don't like the way you said little sister. I'm gonna need you to stop. I don't like the way you said it. I just don't like the way you said it.
You're trying to make a thing of it. I'm voting non-viable.
I'm also gonna vote non-viable on Yukari.
I'm gonna vote viable, but I also haven't played the game.
Damn.
So there you go.
James out here with the non-opinions.
All right. Well, looks like it's 2-1. So get fucked.
Yukio enters the Hall of Non-Viable.
Yeah.
The
Alongside-
hall with only 2 other people.
Sakura and who it was a 10 also.
I think, yeah.
Oh man.
Did we vote Ino as viable?
Did
Yes.
we even? Did we? No, I hope not. No,
I think we did because the argument was that she was more interesting than Sakura.
Yeah, but that's.
I remember that argument. I was like, "That's nothing. That's like this stale pizza is better than this pizza that is stale by a day longer." Like it's they're both terrible. They're both nothing.
If we go back and find out that we said, we were wrong.
Man,
and
you cut off for like a whole second.
We've retracted that statement.
I
Yes,
didn't retract my
will go for
statement.
that.
Ino is viable. Fuck you.
Ino is fucking not viable.
Ino
like
is
a fucking
super
child.
viable.
By that logic, then Sakura is viable. Like they're the
No,
same
okay,
thing.
no,
Just the
okay,
reskins.
No,
Claude,
no.
there's no point in fighting him. Of course, James would she tries to fuck a child in Boruto.
When does that
That's
happen?
right. He
What?
showed the screenshot. It's in anime. I think he put it.
What?
It was in the best friends chat. I gotta find
I'm
it.
Oh, was it this
scared.
much? I thought it was here.
That's spooky. Who the fuck is she? Like, what? What's happening with that? What is the context of that scene in which that's
Don't worry
happening?
about it.
I'm scared. That's spooky. What's not spooky is the news, and right now we're moving on to the news segment. Everybody, get ready for the news. So first up today is High Dive joins Verve as Funimation leaves Verve and ends its Crunchyroll partnership. This article is from Forbes magazine. Essentially, after 2 years, Sony's anime platform Funimation decided to end the 2-year partnership with Crunchyroll, as well as the parent company Elation. If you're not familiar with VRV or Verve, it's essentially a streaming umbrella platform in which a bunch of different streaming sites are individual channels that you can pay for pay individually, or pay like for a Verve Premium, in which you get access to all of them. It's not just anime. You got Funimation. Well, you had Funimation, Crunchyroll, now High Dive, and I want to say one other platform. And then you've also got like Shudder, which is like a horror movie based thing. And
I didn't know Shudder was under them.
Yeah, that's how I watched all those horror movies. That's how I watched Cube and the Cabin Fever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good service. They've also got that the Ring versus the Grudge movie on there. If that
Kaiko versus Sadako, fucking
Yeah.
get out of here.
they've got that
How
on
much
there.
is it for their umbrella, for the whole package thing?
Let me go ahead and check for you real quick because I can just do that.
If Verve sponsor us, we got some people listening to us. It'll
Yeah, we
help
got-
you.
Yeah. So let me see here. I gotta figure out how do they get their fucking. Oh, they've got Rooster Teeth, Nickelodeon, some other stuff like Nick's, like Mondo and Nerdist. You got stuff for Asian dramas. That's a thing.
I
I'm just
forgot
signing-
Twin Star Exorcist existed. Sorry, I was looking at sales for shit, and I forgot about that show.
Okay, so Verve Premium, which gets you all your stuff, is it's $9.99 a month. So $10 a month, you get all that, which is actually
That's the best deal you could get, because by itself, Crunchyroll's like $6.99 a month.
Mhm.
So, holy shit!
yeah, that's a really big deal. Even if you're just getting Crunchyroll and Funimation, well, I mean, you're not going to be getting
You're not Funimation anymore. If
But you're getting
I get
High Dive.
Crunchyroll and bad dubs or bad subs.
Yeah. Oof. Well, but I mean, there's some services on there for everybody. At least. So $9.99 is actually a really good deal for everything. Otherwise you're paying everything individually, which is a little bit more expensive. But anyway, as far as I can tell, Funimation didn't give a reasoning as to why it's ending its partnership. It's just decided to leave after the 2 years, and High Dive, which is actually pretty recent, will be available within the next few weeks. If you're a member of Verve or you want to watch any of the Funimation stuff with Crunchyroll, you've got until November 9th before all of the Funimation stuff gets pulled. So binge watch fucking FLCL and Cowboy Bebop, I guess, if you want.
Also, It sucks that high dive sucks.
Yeah.
Does high dive suck? I don't know a lot.
They're he can explain better than me.
It's just that they have access to some of the worst translators and typesetters as far as simulcasts go. The one for Review Starlight was really, really bad, and the same person is doing Bloom Into You this season, and the typesetting and the translation is equally bad. Which is
Really?
somehow
How?
Which I would say it's somehow I don't understand how typesetting can be as bad because there's less things happening to translate. But I've seen some pretty whack screenshots, and I'm like, how?
That's a shame because Bloom Into You, according to this article, along with the new Legend of Galactic Heroes, are like exclusives on High Dive. So that sucks.
Which is why you gotta download the Ascensi sub version of Bloom Into You.
Wow, Skylar, really just talking about how you pirate anime on my fucking show?
Talking about how I'm supporting dank fan subs when they're putting in that's good.
Well, for anybody who's interested in Verve or hadn't heard about it, here's your chance to get in on Funimation before it leaves the deal. And I guess don't do High Dive, but I mean $9.99 for everything on there is.
I guess we have to kiss our Crunchyroll sponsorship away. Oh no!
I mean Crunchyroll
sponsorship now.
Crunchyroll is still on Verve. Crunchyroll is still on Verve. It's just Funimation that's leaving the project.
The joke was that because I was supporting fan subs when they were going to get.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah. I guess that's right. But I mean, Crunchyroll doesn't have Cowboy Bebop, or Evangelion, so
it
fuck
didn't
them,
have
I guess.
the dub for Bebop anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It's not even worth it. You know what's probably not worth it as a story, but we're still going to talk about it anyway. Jesus Christ, my pen's all over the room today. We're going to be talking about light novels, folks. We're talking about My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. Series of light novels gets an anime release, according to Anime News Network via J Novel Club, which is, I guess, J Novel Club is the developer who releases novels about a girl who suddenly inhabits the role of a doomed otome game antagonist. So this shows
that a bit more.
So this show is called. Oh no, never mind. Ichijinsha revealed on Friday. I'm sorry, it was a Japanese name, but I couldn't tell if that was just the shortened name for this show or not. But goddamn, my pen. Ichijinsha revealed on Friday that Satoru Yamaguchi and Nami Hidaka's My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, or Otome Game no Hamatsu Flag Shika Nai. That's a word.
You don't need to do that, man. You don't need to do that much.
It actually ends in ellipses, so yeah, I actually don't need to do that. We'll be getting an anime adaptation. So if you like evil girls doing evil things with some cute boys, I mean, there you go. That's your
description.
I
looked up what the series was. That's what I was trying to say, but I was like, all right, I guess he wants to continue. No, the whole point is, character from this, this game hits her head and remembers. Instead of like you die and you go to an isekai, she remembers that she was like sent to an isekai. Like, oh shit! It's like, wait a minute, I played this game. There's multiple routes in this game, and no matter what, the villain either gets hard murdered or exiled. She's like, I gotta stop this. I gotta figure out a way out of this. And that is the manga, or not manga, the light novel. It's just I need to find out how to get out of getting my bad end.
I only say that, by the way, that it's evil girls doing evil things with cute boys, because the poster is literally the evil girls surrounded by cute boys. So didn't have much to go on, but yeah, that is essentially the plot summary.
You could have read just a synopsis, but sure. I
mean, I could have, but I don't read. I don't know how to read.
You force yourself to try and read a Japanese name, but you can't read a description of a series you want to talk about.
That's not important. Seven Seas Entertainment licensed the manga, which will release the first volume will release on July 30th, 2019. So, I don't know, I guess.
It's fucking ways out.
Yeah, right. No word on when the actual anime releases. I can tell.
No, they've just confirmed that there will be an anime season. We don't have a date yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, there you go. So if this is your thing,
fucking Made in Abyss. God damn it.
If this is your thing, you've got something to look forward to, I guess. I'm not big on light novels. Skylar only reads light novels, and they include Armpits. Claude doesn't read light novels for as much as I'm aware of.
But this isn't about light novels anymore. This is whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, it's still a light novel getting an anime adaptation. Is the point. Like,
Right. I know a ton of people who don't read light novels, but who watch Overlord.
Is Overlord a light novel adaptation?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I
is
didn't know that.
Monogatari, you idiot.
You're right. You're right.
So Saga of Tanya the Evil. There's a lot of them. There's more than you think. Just because we meme about light novel adaptations being awful doesn't mean they all are.
More than you think, but less than you'd hope. I don't really have a good segue for this, so I'm just going to say it. MegaMan Fully Charged removed from Cartoon Network's schedule, probably canceled because fucking look at it.
Looks awful. They marched it out to die. Like, what kid? Think about everyone here who was a kid at some point, unless you're Casper, and it's like you had a tragic end.
Oh wait,
how the fuck did Casper die? Sorry,
I don't know. Hold on. Plot twist. Casper died because like Casper the Ghost. He died from a car crash. He was chasing after his sled and he crashed. He got hit by a car. But plot twist. I'm sorry. At the bottom of this article, Fully Charged has already started airing in Canada and will be going to the UK very shortly. So it seems to just be for American Cartoon Network that it's no longer there, but it's airing other places. So
it'll die there too. I wonder what time slot they'll put it in. Because it was put on 6:30 in the morning. As a kid, I'd wake up early for like Static Shock and whatnot, but like that would be like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find a time here. Doesn't seem like I was given they gave a time. They're mostly talking about Mega Man 11, weirdly enough. Yeah. I'm not honestly surprised. Guess we need more room for Teen Titans Go, I guess, and like
more
the occasion
to show hard murder with a smile on your face.
God, that is so uncomfortable. You don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about a one clip from Teen Titans Go. Was that the movie or the show? Do you know?
Skylar? He's one.
Do I know which
was
one?
Was that clip from the TV show or the movie with the hard murder?
Oh, I think it's from the movie.
Okay, well, apparently in the Teen Titans Go movie there is a clip in which the Titans go back in time to the moment of right before the Wayne's death, the Wayne family's murder. Put on a pair of pearls on Martha Wayne's fucking neck, and then shove them into the alleyway with little baby Bruce watching as they get murdered, and then they all high five.
And Robin gives the rest of them a big thumbs up.
Yeah, and then it cuts to like the Batman fading back onto a comic book page.
Dude, it's so good. Like because Raven flies up and puts the pearl necklace around Martha's neck, and she has like the dumb like smug anime smile on her face. She does it too. The whole clip is like 7 seconds long, and I think I've watched that like 50 times today. Like I just keep like repeating it.
It's so fucked up, dude.
It's so funny.
I love it. I love it. Oh man. You know what I don't love, but you guys apparently do?
What?
Tom and Jerry.
Really? You don't like Tom and Jerry?
No,
this is like the thing with James where this thing that you guys
honestly couldn't get into Tom and Jerry because of the silent film aspect to it. It just and like I'm not a huge fan of slapstick as like a comedy form, so it just doesn't appeal to me on a basic level. What also doesn't appeal to me is a live action Tom and Jerry film that is apparently being made.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure how that works.
That's not going to be good. That's not going to.
Wait, all right. The only way I'd be cool with it if it came out and I liked it in the same way as like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because I love that movie.
I want it to literally be dudes in costumes.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit is like a cinematic masterpiece, and has never been like they tried with Looney Tunes Back in Action, and it was whack.
Yeah, it was.
They did with Space Jam. I mean, I wouldn't put Space Jam on the same level, but like I like Space Jam a lot.
Space Jam's alright. I think Space Jam is kind of like works as like a time capsule meme film that you have fun watching because it's how it even exists.
Don't call me doll.
But like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is like, I don't know, man. Have you seen like there's like whole write-ups about how the production of that movie is actually insane, and how that the director was intentionally fucking with the animators by making scenes as hard to animate as physically possible. There's even a like cinematic animation term created by the production team of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is called, I think they refer to it as shaking the lamp or whatever, because there's a scene in the movie where they're doing like a fake interrogation and somebody like hits those hanging lamps, like like in detective movies where they hit the lamp and then it causes it to swing back and forth. So they did that in a scene, and so the animators were then forced to animate the cone of light hitting the characters from different angles all throughout the scene, and it was like they were just like, fuck you, because we have to animate the shadows moving on the animated characters, the light hitting them from different angles. We have to now do the camera movements as well, so we have to rotate in with the thing. And it was just like they were just like, this is bullshit. And there's some stuff like that all over Who Framed Roger Rabbit that's like, that movie is a production masterpiece. It's crazy. Like the bit where they're in the car and the car gets they're riding in the car and the car gets cut in half or whatever. Like there's that whole thing. There's the bit where Roger gets his hand stuck in the sink. Everything when like that. There's so many scenes in the movie where I'm like, damn, how did they even do this? Yeah, and live action Tom and Jerry, they're not doing that again. There's no way.
Apparently Tom and Jerry will remain animated and voiceless, so they're not hiring voice actors.
Good.
That's better than it could have been otherwise.
Tom and Jerry is expected to be the first live-action hybrid to start filming in 2019. Apparently, Warner Brothers has a bunch of live-action hybrid films, like in the work, like that they're planning.
Who else?
Is this
What else?
So they might just do like.
Well, Space Jam 2.
Live action.
Like that's a thing.
That's real. That's really happening.
That's
I thought
real.
that was.
Yeah. Oh,
a
did you
joke.
think that was a meme? No, that's.
Yes.
No.
LeBron James is in it.
Yep. He's gonna talk about the Drake Kanye beef.
Dude, it'll be sick. I want Pusha T to be in this movie, and he comes in.
And he comes in.
A shirt that says.
That says what? Because you cut off, and you're still cut off.
A shirt that says Addy Don.
Yeah, I want the shirt to just be a blown up version of that face of Drake.
Fun fact, listeners: Space Jam is what made James a furry.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, what furry
God.
was not made a furry by Space Jam or Robin Hood? Robin Hood by Disney. Genuine question: which furries were not made
probably
furries
people
by
that made a furry by Sonic.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of fur. We don't talk about that furry.
Y'all are all the same. Don't you dare.
That's
separate
not
yourselves.
true. Don't you try and lie to me. Sonic
Okay,
furries are a different breed.
What about
Sonic furries have the mono eye thing. I don't have that.
What about all the furries that were made in like the late 80s and stuff when anime started coming over and they were exposed to like cat girls and shit?
Those are just weebs. That's different. This is a whole different thing.
No, man. Have you seen fucking under the scope that dude's video?
I did see that
about furries.
I
that
did.
Video is fantastic, actually.
What is it now?
There's a guy, I forget his
it is a
channel.
1 hour and a half video about the origin of furries.
It's
Jesus Christ.
he does like these super, because he does like super in-depth like research projects on random shit. Some of them are like about internet stuff. So he does like the one like the Final Fantasy house.
He did one on
fucking-
DSP and
He had
Christian.
He's on one DSP. Yeah, he has a really good Christian documentary. That's great.
Yeah.
But then sometimes he does them on like actual historical figures, like those two brothers in New York who hold themselves up in their house, and they were like the first like high-profile hoarders that were ever talked about like in like media, and they like made booby traps in their house, and nobody could come in and find them.
Christ.
Right. So that's actually a great YouTube channel. I'll see if, because I actually like that channel a lot. I want to shout that guy out.
You know what I don't like a lot? 100-hour work weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shit.
Oh, wait, it's not under the scope. That's a
How,
fucking-
James? How are you bumbling? Aren't you sitting in a chair?
I am. It's by the way, it's not under the scope. It's
Down the rabbit
rabbit
hole.
down the rabbit hole, which is much more apt title than under the scope.
His channel's name is his real name, which is Frederick Nudson. Just look up Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah. So Rockstar Games came out last week with a statement about how some of their employees are working 100-hour work weeks to make sure that the game is great and coming out in time. People didn't like that, so Rockstar decided to clarify, saying it's not all of the employees at Rockstar, it's the writing team essentially.
Yeah, it was the 4 people, including the man who said the statement himself.
Yeah. He's like, oh no, it's just, is a thing. But so here's a full statement from here. Across the whole company, this is coming from Dan Hauser. He says, across the whole company, we have some senior people who work very hard purely because they're passionate about a project or their particular work, and we believe that passion shows in the games we release. But that additional effort is a choice, and we don't ask or expect anyone to work anything like this. Ellipses, no one, senior or junior, is ever forced to work hard. That's bullshit. Because former employees of Rockstars say, I worked 80 hours a week at Rockstar until I had a breakdown. If I hadn't, my contract would have been terminated. There are plenty of ways to force a person. In addition, we know from the development hell that was LA Noire, yeah, that shit was fucked.
But that was also a different branch of Rockstar, to be fair.
It was Rockstar Australia, yeah. But it's not.
But it's still a thing where the way that this was phrased and stuff kind of speaks a lot to the work culture of the place, which is work culture is a big thing, right? That's like, you can have a thing where it's not like literally in your job description you have to do this or we're forcing you to do that, but the culture of the workplace dictates that like if you don't do this then it's frowned upon, right? And so like the fact that an employee at this place is talking about, hey, I worked 100 hours in a week for this thing, 100-hour work weeks, and he's like proud of that, and he's like using that as like a selling point and referring to that as people who work hard
and are passionate. They're passionate about keeping their jobs. That's what they are.
Like worrying in the sense that like it kind of implies people that aren't working 100-hour work weeks are not passionate or are not working hard, which is whack.
And it's not just devs too, because we've got a statement from a guy, Job Stauffer, who was former PR and social media. It was a former PR and social media employee for Rockstar. Says, it's been nearly a decade since I parted from Rockstar, but I can assure you that during the GTA 4 era, it was like working with a gun to your head 7 days a week. Be here Saturday and Sunday too, just in case Sam or Dan come in. They want to see everyone working as hard as them. Yeah. Let's see. We've got another thing from Nelson, who had an interview with with Guardian, saying, Rockstar's working culture has been in need of improvement. When asked how the studio manages employees' time and welfare, he said, as best we can, and it's something that we're always striving to get better at. We're growing as fast as we can, and we're structuring our departments based on need because we don't want people working too hard. Do people work hard, and is there overtime and extra effort put in? Yes, there is. Is it something that we want happening regularly for long periods of time, or as an accepted part of our process, or as a badge of honor thing? No, it is not. We are always trying to improve how we are working and balance what we are making with how we make it, and we will not stop working to improve in this area. Yeah, it honestly just sounds like a lot of backpedaling, because like the 100-hour work week thing was obviously used as like a selling point, and it just did not hit well with people. Yeah. In
unrelated and much happier, Lil B, thank you, based God, just posted on Twitter an image of himself where he's hanging out with Haruhi and Otonashi.
You are cutting off, dude.
What? You're telling me? I can't think.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that's happening.
It does nothing.
Real quick before we move on from Red Dead.
You can't sandbag a little bit hanging out with Idolmaster characters.
That's fine. It's fine that he has shit taste and that he's a weeb. But my point was that real quick before we move on from this Red Dead Redemption 2 story is, did you guys see, Skylar, I think you were there. Did you know you weren't because it was last night? Did you see how big Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be for an install?
It's fucking giant, isn't it? Like 100 gigs or something.
It is 100 plus gigs. It's 99 gigs physically on PS4, 107 on Xbox One, And if you get it digitally, it's 99 gigs on PS4 plus another 50 when you install it. And then on Xbox One, it's another 107. I don't know why Xbox. I don't know how Xbox has a better way of like why their files are more consistent. But yeah, the fact that it's like 150 gigs requirement to play Red Dead Redemption 2 on your PS4 digitally is fucked. Because that's some shitty compression, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's pretty outrageous.
Yeah.
It's because of all the lines of dialogue, and they have to animate and model
The
horse's
balls shrinking.
I bet you it's just like Titanfall 2, where it's just uncompressed audio files. A lot of it's just uncompressed audio files. Which would be dialogue. So it's probably just uncompressed fucking dialogue. God damn, dude. They really take advantage of the fucking Blu-ray discs. I tell you that. You wouldn't have this shit if we were still on DVDs.
Because the game wouldn't be anywhere near as big. There's differences.
I mean, yes, there are differences, but like, just because you have the space for it does not mean you need to fucking use all of it. You could just compress stuff. It doesn't actually affect anything at this point.
But what if they just wanted the FLAC audio files?
That doesn't mean shit.
The tobacco smack noise. These dudes. Why
is this 3 millisecond audio file 3 gigs? Oh well, that's the sound that the horse's balls make when they shrink. We have to make sure that's high quality.
I remember there's like that godlike fucking post
4chan post
of the guy who's like, you get hiding going up to the horse farts in the cold weather because it makes you warm, and the dude responding like, I can't even tell if this is fake anymore.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
I don't know what's a meme anymore.
I can't wait for the Red Dead Redemption 2 online to not have like even half of those features, because it would just be too much. When is it coming? I don't know. I don't care.
They haven't announced a release date for.
Because I have friends who were hyped about it, but I don't really care about those type of games, so I wasn't gonna get it. And then I talked to him like, because I hadn't been on like a PlayStation for a minute.
Robot.
Oh, I was roboting.
You didn't robot for me, so I think it's just on his end.
Okay. Well then, I had some friends who were like super psyched for it, and then I talked to him again about it, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not getting it on launch. It's not launching with multiplayer, so I'll get it when that comes out."
Did Red Dead Redemption 1 even have multiplayer? No, right?
It did. It actually had the very first version of what would be GTA.
Really?
Yeah, actually, no. Maybe I might be wrong about that, because GTA 4, no, it for sure had online posse system where like you're playing, you like meet up with dudes online, and then you like form a posse and whatever, and then it had like instances for game modes and things like that. You could like walk up into like a room and like sit down in a queue to play poker and shit. Like it actually was really robust and good online mode for like, you know, PS3 shit. Like it hadn't really much like that before, but I forget if it was like similar in that way to GTA 4's online. GTA 4 had a similar but I forget if like GTA 5 or sorry, if Red Dead was like much more robust than GTA 4's or not. But yeah,
well,
it for sure had multiplayer though.
Speaking of things that are unsubstantiated and don't have a release date yet, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite rumored to get an update that would make it, I guess, rebrand it as 4. Apparently, was that what it was, Claude? There's
so there was a leak by the same dude who did the leaks for like all of Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, Vergabin specifically is his name on Reddit.
All right, yeah, like that guy. I'm not gonna say the name again because I'm gonna fuck it up. But yeah, so he did that leak and a couple other leaks. And he said, yeah, no, Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is coming, and people didn't know what was going on with that. And then I guess later on there was something from people in Marvel vs. Capcom being like, there's just an update coming. Nothing significant, nothing stated. Like, unless you guys cleared that up earlier, the thing you guys were talking about earlier.
According to this this post on Etc., his post specifically talks about nobody really knows any big details. Characters that he and people like Max have heard are Star-Lord, Miss Marvel, Asura, which would actually be a good pick.
That would be dope, and he should have been there.
Gil is an interesting pick. Lady and Rashid and possibly Virgil would be the most logged in logical inclusions to expect. That is at least until something substantial does come out about it. That is the place
BB
to start
Hood
with.
when?
Never.
BB Hood never.
Never. But yeah, that we literally just haven't just like
getting in the game.
Literally just like, hey, there's an update coming and it's apparently real, but we have nothing to go on for it. So there's really nothing to talk about other than, hey, maybe Marvel vs. Capcom 4 to replace Infinite in an update, which would be interesting, I guess. Hopefully it makes the game good. Moving on to concrete things,
Unlikely.
we have unlikely, very. Moving on to more concrete things, Left Alive has been given a release date for March 5th, 2019. I kind of barely remember this game. It's a Front Mission spinoff. I only recognize it because it's got the art from the classic Metal Gear games. Metal Gear Solid, rather. So that's kind of all I remember of it. Do you know anything about it, Claude or Skylar?
No. We saw that one thing at what was it? It wasn't Tokyo Game Show. Where did they show that off at? Was it
Really,
it was-
is the only thing that I know about this that it's apparently a survival game of some kind, but
Yep.
because Japan said that could mean literally anything. I don't think Japan knows what a survival game is in the American context of that statement.
It looks like it might be a. Does this run on the fucking Fox engine?
Yeah, I don't think it does.
Okay, because it
But
looks
would be
like it does.
Really cool if it did, because that would mean Konami's like it out, which is highly unlikely. But all I know
Okay.
about it is that it is apparently set in the Front Mission universe, which is pretty cool. Also, hopefully we'll get some, and we have heard that it's going to be like 3 main characters, right? So you play as the different 3 main characters. They showed them off in a more recent trailer. So there's going to be 3 campaigns, and there's going to be on foot and mecha piloting combat in it. And that's all we got. So you will get the pilot of Vonzer game. They exist. So don't fucking shit your pants in anger about there not being mecha in this Front Mission game. But we don't know nothing about it aside from that, really.
Pretty
Yoji
much.
Shinkawa is working on it. He's cool.
We know the timeline. Within the Front Mission timeline, Left Alive takes place in 2127 between the events of Front Mission 5 and Front Mission Evolved. That's it. That's all we know.
I don't know nothing about that period in the timeline.
I have never played a Front Mission game.
I played Front Mission 3 for a couple of hours, and it was really cool, but I'm so bad at those games that I could never beat it.
It's understandable.
I'm so bad at tactical RPGs, it's embarrassing.
You know what I'm really bad at?
Segways?
a lot.
League of Legends. You know what League of Legends is? An esport. And John TotalBiscuit Bain is to be posthumously inducted into the eSports Hall of Fame as the first non-player. For those of you who weren't big in PC video games, you might not be familiar with who TotalBiscuit was, but TotalBiscuit was a very prominent. He was an eSports like shoutcaster. Is that the word they use? Very big on StarCraft 2. Scream Lord. Very big on StarCraft 2. He basically was the guy to go to for PC game reviews and new updates, news, and like he had a special called port reports, in which he would talk about, oh, this PC port is shitty for these reasons, this one's really good for these reasons, and he was really cool. And he unfortunately very recently died at the age of 33 from terminal bowel cancer, which he had been fighting for several years at that point. But he is to be inducted into the Esports Hall of Fame at ESL Gaming in Hamburg. or ESL 1 in Hamburg this year, later this month, in fact. So that's really cool. I'm really happy that that happened. TotalBiscuit was the guy that got me into PC games, and it was sad when he left because it was kind of sudden.
I only ever really knew about TotalBiscuit from like the outside. Like I never really watched his channel stuff. I kind of appreciated him in the same way that I appreciate how Yahtzee exists, because they both kind of occupied the same space in my brain of angry British men who hate things. But you know, I appreciate him being around and doing things to help. Like I think he was one of the big guys that was pioneers for advocating for higher consumerist practices, like trying to be like more pointing out pointing out how publishers were being very anti-consumer.
Too, he was big on that.
Yeah, so I think that like him being in that way is kind of important because it's kind of like a big thing now, is people realizing anti-consumer practice in games media, and so that's cool. So there's that. Also, it just kind of sucks when people die.
It does suck when people die, especially when they're killed
from the cancer. When you don't have when you have the no control.
Yeah. But he was a really cool guy, and it sucks that he went. But at least he's being memorialized in something as great as the eSports Hall of Fame. Esports. And he played Street Fighter 4. He main Dan, so he's my boy.
He played Soul Girls too. He played Valentine.
Yeah, my dude. So moving on from death, we move on to Discord. Discord.
What was that?
Both D words.
Yeah. Skylar knows how the segues work.
I can follow the no logic in James' brain.
So Discord recently updated their terms of service because they introduced something called the Discord store. And this is also PC game related, actually. Essentially now Discord has a store for a select about 100 different games that they have, ranging from indie titles like Hollow Knight to things like Metro Last Light Redux. They've got a really good range of games, some of which you get for free if you buy Discord Nitro.
That's the reason you wanted this on the docket.
No.
Yeah, just buying those $5.
It's actually $9 now. It's $9.99 now.
Oh, $9 a month. James can't afford to put gas in his car, but he can afford to spend $9 a month on Discord Nitro.
No, dude, it's like it's free money because I'm only paying $10 for all these games that cost more than $10, dude. It's free money.
It's free. Yeah, you're right. All this free money that you're getting.
All of it. But no, it's also has the universal library system in it, which means you don't have to deal with multiple game launchers if you have games across Ubisoft, Uplay, and Steam and GOG and all that. It just detects whatever games you have booted up, and you can boot any one of them from Discord. So that's also really nice. The Discord shop's pretty cool. Lots of different games, some games that are only available on the Discord store, although I don't personally care about the games that they have on there yet, but it's a thing. I'm sorry, so Nitro what is this?
Nitro
so you get
plus blasters.
No, you get Nitro for $9.99.
You played that?
No, you get Nitro for $9.99, but now they have Nitro Classic, which is the $5 a month, which is just the text, which is just the chat perks. I don't know why you would pay just the $5 for the chat perks when you could just get the game shit too, if that was your thing. But whatever, I guess.
But have you played Nitro Plus Blasters?
No.
The only thing I know about that game is that it's the little incest sister is a playable character.
Oh, that thing. The weird fighting
Kino
game.
from Kino's Journey is not playable. However, the game is developed by French Bread, who made Melty Blood of Under Night, so it's probably actually a good game.
I've seen some shit, and I did consider buying it once. There was one super that made me want to buy the game, and I don't remember who it is, but it's some chick from like a light novel, like who has like that gun that like is part like what the fuck is it?
She's from Valkyria Chronicles. She's talking about Sylvana.
Let me look at it. Let me verify.
Right? She has the silver hair and the giant tits. Claude?
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking to make sure this is the person I'm thinking about. Wow, you type in Nitro Plus Blaster Sylvana and you get something for a portable DVD player. Fantastic.
I might forget her name, but she's from Valkyria. She's the main quote unquote villain from Valkyria Chronicles 1. It's like
no, the chick with like the blue hair and whatnot.
Yeah, she's like got like bluish silver hair. She got giant titties and like a big
no. I didn't even know that chick was in this game.
On it.
I didn't even know she was in here.
So are you talking about? Are you talking about Shauna then, who has like a sword with fire and shit on it?
No, it's a gun she has. I'm actively like looking it up. So if you want to continue the conversation, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
When I find her.
It's just that game is probably good because it's developed by developers, but it's, it doesn't have the character that I like playable. Kino is the fucking assist character.
If you get Nitro Plus Blasters, you're a fucking weeb. Moving on. Days Gone delayed 2 months. Now will be released April 2019. If y'all don't remember Days Gone, it's that zombie apocalypse motorcycle gang game. Will now be launching April 26th, 2019.
Ethica. Her name's Ethica.
Who the fuck is that?
She's probably not very ethical.
Fuck is that?
I'm gonna put something for her in FG Chads. Like, look at her, just her character thing, and she looks like she appeals to my playstyle.
What is she from, even?
I have to go back and look, but I'm dropping it in FG Chads now. Continue with the podcast, James, for this thing that people can't see what I'm posting.
Yeah, it seems like so the game was originally going to launch February 22nd, 2019, which was also going to be the same release day as Anthem, Crackdown 3, and Metro Exodus. I mean, we all know Crackdown 3 is fucking canceled, so it doesn't matter. I guess they were worried that any of those games were going to be like hard competition for Days Gone. But honestly, I don't know. Days Gone seems way more interesting to me than fucking Anthem or Crackdown 3. The only one that I would really be worried about is Metro Exodus. But, I mean, whatever. But I guess moving into April, Days Gone is like the biggest game that's coming out that month. So I guess it'll just have a whole free month to itself, which is okay, but it's also risky because people might not remember, because Mega Man 11 Mega Man 11 is also Mega Man 11, so it's hard to use that as a comparison. But I mean, Mega Man 11 came out and nobody knew about it or cared. Not even Solange.
Apparently from an Arrow game called Tokyo Necro. I've never heard of in my life.
No, I only knew about her existing from this. Like, did you see that final super that she did?
Yeah, like I was looking her up, and all the games from her are from that game. So like, she's pure as fuck. Like she's like the thing that she's in never came out, and so no one has any idea who the fuck she is.
Are you guys done? Are you guys done with your weeb shit?
Never.
Well, guess what? I'm moving on to my weeb shit. 4 Corpse Party games are coming to PC soon, so now it'll have literally the best way to play all of these games. Can't fucking wait.
Your weeb shit.
My weeb shit. My weeb shit. Well, okay. Tell the people about Corpse Party, Claude. Because
I read those manga fucking forever ago.
Manga?
Yeah, they got a lot of them.
Damn, really? I read one doujin and it was scary.
They got a lot of them, and most of them aren't done.
That's the real spooky part.
Yeah,
I actually read it like 6 years ago.
Okay, well,
I don't know nothing about Corpse Party except for buttering your pooper.
Buttering your pooper is the best line of any game, hands down. Can't beat it. So I've played a bit of Corpse Party Book of Shadows. I actually got pretty far. There's 4 games coming out: Corpse Party Book of Shadows, Corpse Party Blood Drive, Corpse Party Sweet Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash is like a joke game, and Corpse Party 2 Dead Patient. These are all going to be having have HD art, the good voice acting from the remake, kind of like essentially the remake, and is essentially going to be the best way to play these games. As before, the best way to play these games was on the 3DS, because the current Steam version for Corpse Party uses the classic indie art that looks shitty. It's fucking unbearable to me personally. And like before, so really your options before were the 3DS version and then the PSP version and then anything else and then the PC version on Steam. This is released by Xseed, and that's good. They do good stuff. Can't wait. I can't wait. Let's see. Book of Shadows has an official release date for October 29th. Dead Patient, Sweet Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash are set to launch this winter, and Blood Drive should hit shortly after because it's the last of the bunch. These will all be on PC. Book of Shadows specifically will support full mouse control, so you no longer have to use your keyboards. Like, you know, it's kind of annoying to have to type on a keyboard, for stuff. But yeah, it'll have full mouse control, which is nice. Possibly also the same case for Blood Drive, because I believe they run on the same engine, but it's up in the air. Can't wait. Can't fucking wait, because I got really far in Book of Shadows, and then I lost my save data, and I was also on an endless loop of death, and can't wait. Can't fucking wait. And moving on from the news, we have the favorite segment of everybody that isn't me, Learning with James.
Mm-hmm.
Claude, what am I learning people today?
First off, never mind. You're gonna teach us about, mainly because I just want to talk about this. It's still fun to me. The development cycle of Mighty Number 9.
What? Okay. Who's the guy that made MegaMan again? What's his name?
Okay.
Keiji Inafune.
Inafune. Okay.
Inafune is a fucking hack who sucks.
Yeah, that.
You need to contain yourself for now.
Inafune is a fucking hack who sucks. He's known for being the guy who made MegaMan. Makes a Kickstarter for,
which is a lie, by the way.
Stop, Skylar. We can correct this later.
I don't think that's necessarily a correction. I think
Take
that's
your
just
notes.
I don't think that's a correction necessarily. I think that's just a thing that was lost to time, and he just became the MegaMan guy. I think
I'll touch on that when we get to that. But continue with what you know. Skylar, anyway, contain yourself.
That's what people know him as, is the guy that's behind MegaMan. He starts up a Kickstarter for Mighty Number 9, which is essentially going to be the spiritual successor to MegaMan, because Capcom hadn't released any good MegaMan shit in a while. So everybody that makes I think like close to it was $3 million or more $1 million in Kickstarter money. And then at some point he starts another Kickstarter during the first Kickstarter campaign for like a spin-off game, who I played the demo for that, and boy, was that like a super nothing. You're essentially just talking to models and interacting with them at a very basic level. People weren't happy about that. There was something about like an anime for that spin-off or something. Basically the Mighty Number 9 like Kickstarter was a mess because there's a bunch of other shit going on, because Inafune doesn't seem to know how that whole situation works. Mighty Number 9 actually gets like a release trailer, and it talks about you're gonna cry like an anime fan on prom night, and it's like, oh no, you just insulted your like whole player base. What's wrong with you? Also, this gameplay looks like shit, and these effects look like fucking pepperoni pizzas. What the hell's going on? Mighty Number 9 promises to be on 3DS, I believe also the PS Vita, and the major consoles, like in like the Wii U and stuff. Shit happens, and like I don't think the 3DS version or the PS Vita version have come out at all, and this game has been out for like I think over a year now. I might be wrong on that. I don't remember when it actually came out. A bunch of the what are they tier rewards for how much you donate on Kickstarter have not been delivered yet, and the ones that have been pretty shitty quality. I think the manual doesn't even fit into the case that they give you. Also, those come like separately. Like they're not in the package together. They're in like a little bag, and you have to assemble it yourself. Because I guess that like hiring a small Chinese child to do that for you is just too many pennies on the dollar for Inafune. Mighty Number 9 is probably considered one of the worst taints on Kickstarter campaigns. at least in terms of like mainstream games to come out. I mean, everybody has like a Kickstarter horror story, as long as they've like done something with Kickstarter. Like because there was one guy that like freaked the fuck out and burned like every copy of his of whatever he was making, and then just quit. Anyway, yeah, Mighty Number 9 is like a reason why people don't trust Kickstarter anymore, because that Inafune's whole campaign with that was so awful and mismanaged, and the game didn't turn out all that good. I heard it's pretty disappointing for a lot of Mega Man fans in terms of like writing and level design and character designs and acting and a bunch of other aspects of it. But that is pretty much all I know about Mighty Number 9.
All right, Skylar, you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. I don't have that much. I'd say that Red Ash was not a spinoff. I'm pretty sure. It's just a different thing.
It was not.
That's just the other thing that was called Red Ash, and it announced another game and an anime at the same time. And I'm very sure it did not have a demo, but I could be wrong.
Red Ash
so
it had a very basic thing.
Did it?
It had a demo, but the demo just had a recolor of I forgot the main. What's his name? Beck from Mighty Number 9. It was just a recolor of his character model, and the thing that pissed people off about that was that even though it was shitty, that had a demo when Mighty Number 9 had still not had a demo.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I forgot about that. Okay, so there's that. I said, you talk about early release footage of Mighty Number 9, which looked way better than the release footage did, where it had like a different lighting engine, and like the effects looked way better, and all that shit. So there's that. And then you didn't mention that the delays were caused by the fact that the game kept failing to pass certification on all the different consoles.
I didn't know that actually.
It was because it was like feature creep basically, because they kept having to add new stuff because of the Kickstarter stretch goals. So they kept having to add new things, and basically they kept adding things to the game and new SKUs of the game and all that shit. So they keep having to apply for certification for all the different consoles and yada yada yada. And so every time they had to do that, they had to delay. And again, so that's why it took so long to come out. So also that makes it even because it makes it even worse that it never came out on the 3DS or the Vita, because that was part of the reason why the game was being delayed, because of trying to get certified on those in developing for those consoles, and it never did anything with that. So
yeah,
that's all I got for that.
All right.
I actually didn't know about the
delay.
Oh, he didn't like say anything wrong about Inafune. Inafune just sucks, and he's like a big liar. And people says that he made Mega Man, and he didn't. He's just one of the guys that worked on Mega Man.
Because actually that one I'm kind of knowledgeable about.
Okay, so yeah, you talk about Inafune then.
For the record, I only played Mega Man 2.
Okay,
that's fine.
Well, the deal with Inafune is, so he's commonly associated with being the father of Mega Man. This is not the case. He came in and started working on the first Mega Man game midway through production, after Mega Man's design and a lot of the Robot Master's designs had already been made. I don't recall what happened with Mega Man 2, because Mega Man 1 wasn't the one that got super popular. 2 and 3 were the ones that really blew up the franchise. 2 he had a role on, yes, and then I think he had a role on 2. Pretty sure. But 3, the big thing is with 3 exploding, a lot of the people who were working on early Mega Man had left the company at that point in time. So early Capcom was like, fuck, all right, who are we going to attribute this to? Because we don't want to be like, oh, the people who made this, or the person behind this is like someone who's no longer at our company. Inafune, you've been working on Mega Man as a high role since the beginning. We're going to just say it's you're the father. And to his credit, he has went on record saying, no, I am not I forgot who it was. I forgot the artist who actually made Mega Man, but he has been on record multiple times saying like, no, I am not the father of Mega Man. This person actually made it. I've just worked on all the games. But that gets lost to time. So even despite him saying it numerous times, it's been attributed to him now. So, because that's how Capcom spun that story. As far as the money, it was $4 million that it made in its Kickstarter. And the biggest thing, which is like this is the biggest part of the entire controversy, is that it was a Kickstarter game that raised the $4 million, and then like I think because it was originally supposed to come out in was it summer? I think summer 2015 was when it was supposed to come out. If not summer, then like spring of 2015. But the thing is, like, they hit a point where they put an announcement like, "Hey, great news, everyone! We've been picked up by developer Deep Silver," and then everyone's like, "Wait, you made so much money from this Kickstarter. Why the fuck are you? Why did you now have a publisher?" And the biggest thing about that like raised the most like of a like, "Are you fucking serious?" was like Deep Silver's like, "Hey, not only now that we have Deep Silver backing us, there's gonna be physical copies. There's gonna be this. There's gonna be that. It's gonna be great." And then people were like, "Yeah, I actually want a physical copy, but I backed it for the digital because that's all that was available. Can I switch it to a physical copy?" And they were like, "No, and you also can't get a refund." And that's where shit happened. That's where it really exploded because there was already some tensions before that.
You also can't get a refund. I love the phrasing of that. No, and you also can't get a refund. Yikes.
Yeah, but that's about as much as I know.
The greatest thief of our time. Well, also the whole thing with how he did the whole thing with Capcom, how they got to make more foreign games. That was him.
Oh yeah.
Well, was it make more foreign games or push more in the foreign market?
It was push more in the foreign market. So it was literally give more. What do you call it? Give more projects to American studios. Make more American versions of our game.
That's why
so
we got
that
DMC.
Only worked for like a couple things. Like it worked for, well, it didn't really work for DMC, but it worked for Dead Rising. But then Lost Planet 2 like sucked financially. I thought it was fun to play, but like that didn't do well. And then of course,
yeah, it was fun.
Who could forget? Except everyone could forget Bionic Commando, which did dismally.
Rip Bionic Commando.
So
arm.
Yeah. That's all there is to know about that at the moment. I mean, there's not even at the moment until like the stars aligned and he puts out an announcement saying, "Hey, the 3DS and Vita versions are out now."
And also all of your backer rewards.
Which ones are they missing? Because to my knowledge, the only ones that hadn't come out yet was the 3DS and Vita versions.
I think it's the plushies and shit. Like all the physical items, I think, still haven't come out.
Yeah, that's a lie. And it will never come out.
Yeah, I mean,
because the game came out summer of 2 years ago. Wait, no.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
2 years ago.
It was a while.
Because it got multiple pushbacks. It was supposed to come out, I'm going to just say spring of 2015. Then it got pushed back to fall of 2015. Then, like, because I remember this date was supposed to be in September. And then, like a couple days, it was a couple days beforehand. It was like, "Hey, yeah, we might not have it, but it's coming out in," I think it was January or February, it was supposed to come out. And then right before it came to that date, it got pushed again to its like last date, which was like I think July or June of 2016. So it's like that I don't know what was happening, but Inafune will probably never do anything with video games again because he will never be trusted again.
Pretty much. It was a good learning. It was a good learn I did. Because I actually didn't know about the delays and stuff.
Oh boy, it was a train wreck.
Yeah, I didn't follow. I was never a fan of MegaMan, so I didn't really follow the Mighty Number 9 story very closely. I just heard about stuff like tangentially.
I liked MegaMan as a kid, but like I didn't like it that much. I was mostly on top of it because it's like it was a very obvious train wreck, and I needed to see where the train was going to stop when the explosions from the train wreck was going to stop.
Turns out they'll never stop.
No.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
Yeah, man. I feel like Shenmue 3 is new. Mighty Number 9.
Right, but we at least can have some faith in Bloodstained because I unfortunately the only fucking demos that came out for Steam and I got for PS4. Speaking of, do either of you guys want that Steam copy of the demo that I have?
I can't.
I have that. Because I back.
And the Stewie already has it too, so just give it to George. And now George
doesn't play on PC. I guess. But yeah, so people have played the demo and I've heard them say like good things about it. Like not that it's like spectacular, but it is good. It's like all right, and they've already been we got a lot of feedback, so we're delaying it and working on the stuff that you guys have said.
I've won the Kickstarter game, and then I've only ever Indivisible, which is Indiegogo even, and I backed the 2 Mellow album. So I'm a victor.
I've
only good investments
kickstarted.
For me.
I've also so far had good investments. I kickstarted Bloodstained, Indivisible. A book by the Saturday Morning Breakfast cereal guy, Pathologic 2, which is getting consistent updates, and then another game, Epic, what was it? Sword and Shield Ultimate, which they played. Liam and Wooly on the Super Best Friends played it. Played the third game. It's essentially like it's weird. It's these 2 Russian dudes that make video games, and like this is supposed to be like their climactic version of this series of games that they've made for a while now, and that's also going really well. Especially after that video by the Best Friends came out, they like soared past their goals. So yeah.
Let's see, I kickstarted Indivisible. Bloodstained, The Good Life, and the Cyanide and Happiness game.
Really? The Cyanide and Happiness game?
I've talked about that multiple times.
Did that come out?
The card game or the different game?
No, the video game.
Oh, video game. What? I didn't hear about that. Or I mean, I guess I did, but my memory. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be episodic. I actually haven't been on their forum, so I don't know what's happening with it. But yeah, they're doing a game, and I've talked about before about how I put in my own rewards, like because not my own rewards, but I paid to a certain thing where it's like I have like there's gonna be like hey student records, and I'm gonna have my own student records, and I put in some weeb shit because I was like I gotta do weeb shit, and I gotta do dumb shit. Like it's like 3. There's 3 books. That like is like what are the 3 books that from the library that you didn't turn back in, and I was like all right, one of them is like I'm terrible at swimming, so I put something about like how I can't swim, like the art of not drowning or some shit, something about how to master the Dark Hado because I love Akuma. But then the last one was when I was like I gotta do something weeby, and the book title is Waifu Wars: Why Your Girl is Best Girl.
Damn. That's pretty good.
Outside that, I don't remember what else I put on there, but I have a couple more things. But yeah, so I'll exist somewhere in that game.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess moving on, we can just move on to our big discuss. Big discuss for anybody who's not familiar is just basically at the end of every podcast usually at the end of every podcast we have a discussion, a big discussion about any particular topic. I'm usually the one who picks them. Sometimes we do spoiler cast. We did a spoiler cast, I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was the JoJo spoiler cast, which was really good. You should check that out. Today's big discuss, we're celebrating Halloween by talking about our biggest scares in video games and movies. For movies, it's any particular scene, but especially the kitchen the dinner sequence in what's it called? Hereditary.
What?
And,
I get you liking it, but how's that a scary scene?
Because I've lived that exact moment at my house, and it actually gave me an anxiety attack.
Okay.
Did you kill your brother, and then your mom got mad at you?
Yeah.
We don't talk about it.
James, where did Jake go? Did you
No,
lose
see,
any?
there's James, Jake, and then there was Jim. But Jim is no
He
more.
actually does have a third brother, but he's like old.
Yeah, my older brother.
Does his name also start with a J?
Yes,
Johnny.
Jesse. It's
Jimbo.
Jesse. It's Jesse. People in my immediate family are Jesse, Jake, James, Jim, my dad, and Jamie.
Jimbo.
What is with all the J's? Why are you guys so fixated on that?
Apparently, it was my mom's idea, and I think now she regrets it because she can't remember any of our names, and she will actually cycle through every name to make sure she gets.
See, that's just a mom thing. Once you get past like 3 kids.
Once
my
you
mom
get past
will do that.
one kid,
My grandfather does that too. He well, his
well, I guess Skylar's grandfather fucking got him from beyond the grave.
he's not dead. My grandfather's alive.
I only say that just because you fucking cut off super hard.
Oh, my grandfather always cycles through everyone's names whenever he says. And when he wants to say my name is I'm Max Spencer Skylar. That's my name.
Nice. Matt Spencer Skylar. For video games, my biggest scare is definitely from PT. PT fucked me up real good, real easy. Because, I mean, come on, it's PT.
Yeah, I feel like that's PT got me really good because that was a thing where I played. Like it was a thing where I was awake during the Sony conference and was like, download this thing, and so I downloaded it before I went to bed. I woke up in the morning and I played it first thing in the morning. And so I woke up and we're in the apartment, right? So we had an apartment and so me and my brother shared a room in the apartment and it was tiny as fuck. Our beds were right next to each other. So I have my headphones, like your PS4, you plug your headphones into the controller and you get the audio to your headphones extended from the TV. So I didn't wake him up. Which, by the way, that's fucked up. That game with headphones in, not alright.
No, it's not.
And
it's a bad time.
I was going through it, and I kind of was like figuring out all the puzzles and stuff myself. The first time, like you can die, like the bit where you have to like figure out what to do with the what do you call it, like the picture frame, so it unlocks the door. And I died there, and that got me really good. But I didn't. That wasn't the moment that I feel like was the best, like the one that really got me. The best was at the end where it's impossible to beat, right? Where you need to do the dumb bullshit to beat it. That I never have had a working mic, so I can never beat it.
You still, and to this day, you still don't have a working mic. Fascinating.
That's very, very true. I used to have a working mic, but my brother got angry, so he threw it. But the wire was wrapped around the chair leg, so it just yanked the chair leg out of it. So rip our mic. Yeah. Anyway, it was at the end, right? So I didn't know about the gimmick, so I was just walking down the hall nonchalant. And so I get to her, and she just fucking flies at the screen at me. I literally yelled at the top of my lungs, and I threw the remote across the room, but also pulled headphones out of my ears. My brother woke up, and my brother is asleep, because it's like fucking 8 a.m. And so he's like, what the fuck, Skylar? And he goes back to sleep. I was like, I'm so sorry. And then I got up and I walked around for a little bit to calm myself down. And I was like, damn, what the fuck is this game? Yeah.
Silent Hills.
Yeah, and only to be met with sadness.
Oh.
And there was so much hope in those days. So much, belief for the future, only to be taken from me.
Let's see.
Anyway.
I want to live in the universe in which Silent Hills exists and Konami isn't a shitty company.
But we're getting Death Stranding, which is like him untethered.
I mean, yeah, but I want both. I want my cake, but I also want to eat it.
Have you played any Silent Hill games?
No, but I would have played Silent Hills. I would have played.
Just play PT or not PT. Just play goddamn Death Stranding. It's the same team for the most part, but it's just no longer limited.
It's not. What's his name? Who did fuck. What's the bad animated
Junji Ito.
Made? Junji Ito. That's his name. I couldn't remember his first
I
name.
saw a dude at work yesterday wearing a Junji Ito shirt. and I was
That's
so
crazy.
fucking hyped. It was the centipede bed.
Oh wow, that's a good
Yeah.
one. That guy makes me uncomfortable. I kept
Yeah,
wanting to say Masahiro Ito. Who the fuck is that's a person?
Are you thinking of Masahiro Itoi?
What was this conversation about to be?
Ito is an artist.
It's that Junji Ito isn't a part of Death Stranding, and Junji Ito was doing the enemy designs for Silent Hill. So it's not
I
the
thought it
exact
was Guillermo del Toro who was doing that.
No, it's Junji Ito doing the monster designs.
Junji Ito was gonna do the monster. Yeah, that
and Guillermo del Toro was gonna do was helping with writing.
Gonna help with direction and stuff. But so the reason why I thought about Shirito is he actually is the character of the monster designer, an art director on all the Silent Hill games. So that's why I thought that, or at least 1 through 4, and then he did Origins, and then he worked on Night Cry, which was that game that was like the Clock Tower, that one.
All right. Well, as far as mine goes, there's one that always like sticks up to me as like number one, and like it's The Shining. There's a very particular scene in The Shining that fucking gets me.
The elevator?
What? No, the elevator wasn't scary. Because keep in mind, like, this is me as a kid, and like I had watched, I think I mentioned before, the first time I ever saw tits in the movie was Titanic, and I was super hyped about that. And I remember I was watching The Shining, and it was the scene where Jack Nicholson goes into the room that's like, hey, this door's open.
Oh yeah.
It's locked this whole time. And he sees the naked lady. I was like, oh, boobs again. And I was all hyped. And he kisses her. And I'm like, yeah. And he backs away, and it's this like rotting old woman. And I was like, oh. And like just her laughing and slowly walking towards him fucked me up super bad.
Scott,
Yeah.
Claude hasn't been a tit man since.
Yeah, the scared of the tit man. You know what? That's probably why he's an ass man, because he had bad experience with tits as a child.
Makes sense.
But anyway,
He's fucking terrifying.
It
Like
is,
as a kid.
it is pretty fucked up. Yeah, as a kid, we were excited about boobies, and all of a sudden, horrible.
As a kid, how did you feel about that fucking like pig man?
Yeah, with the pig man blowjob.
Yeah, how'd that make you feel, Claude?
Pigman blowjob?
Yeah, is that why you don't like cops?
It's not a pig man though. I think he's wearing like a dog mask or something.
He's wearing I think it's a pig. It's like a pig mask and like a dude in a tuxedo, where one's giving the other head, and then the door closes. Claude, it's like a kind of really memorable.
I don't
scene.
remember that scene.
Oh man!
Towards the end, it's like he kind of looks on a hallway. Yeah, he's dressed.
Is this when he goes to the bathroom?
No, it's like at the end when they're basically running around the thing. He was in a bear costume. Pretty sure.
A bear costume.
No, I don't remember that.
Well,
it's a very memorable scene to me. I'll just post it.
Just rewatch The Shining. I mean, it's not a bad movie to rewatch. So I mean,
it's a very good movie. Like I like that movie a lot. It's been years, and it's like I just don't remember that particular scene.
So this I have it up for any of the viewers to see right now. But essentially, the scene is a man in a bear costume, seeming to give fellatio to a man in a tuxedo. You don't actually see a dick or anything, but like they're very clearly posed in such a way, and they both kind of like look up from what they're doing and look straight.
At the camera.
Yeah, they look straight at the camera, and then the door shuts, and it's like very uncomfortable for what it is.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you know.
I think like for movies, Loki.
That black guy died for no reason though.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
He got killed, dude.
Literally no reason. He was like, I'm concerned, and he showed up to die. Like he didn't do anything there. I guess he left his car there, or the snow, whatever the vehicle was that he used to get up there. That's the only reason he was in there.
Or whatever.
Yeah, it's the black dude with the Shining also.
Yeah.
I'd say as a kid, one of the things that really, I saw Alien. Chest burst scene like fucked me up a little bit as a kid, but I think I talked about it before, but like the fucking transformation sequence in Harry Potter 3, where Lupin turns into a werewolf. That as a kid was like, no, I was not prepared for that body horror as a child. That's actually terrifying.
I wasn't prepared for the body horror.
Like that actually, like that really fucked me up as a kid. I had like recurring nightmares about werewolves for like months after that.
Yeah, you did talk about that scene. You did talk about that
so,
before.
Like, that still is a thing.
I think we answered something along these lines because I remember talking about the thing about how I was terrified after watching Nightmare on Elm Street and the guy got sucked into his bed and I slept on the edge.
We might have talked about it actually.
Yeah.
Before.
The one that's like as far as favorites because it's still like arguably my favorite horror film. The Thing. Like I absolutely love like practical effects, and that's probably the best example I could think of off the top of like where my favorite practical effects come from. And this just the scene where he's testing the blood, and like he finds the one who's like the Thing, and his transformation. That scene is so well done.
Good. That scene is so good.
What's your favorite scare from a video game, Claude? You didn't answer that part.
From a game,
if there is one.
I've had a lot of games that really like fucked me up. So this was more tense than like really scared because I knew it wasn't a horror game. But MGS5, when you're going into that area where everyone's infected, there was this vibe I had where I was always on edge. I was like,
yeah,
oh my God.
That was a cool scene.
That's a cool and very rough sequence.
Yeah. I think that I want to give shout outs to like because I feel like all the moments that scare me most in games are the ones that are unscripted. Like when I actually get spooked, I get spooked by like just me being dumb playing a game. So I was playing Dead Space 2 at one point, and it's the bit where you go into the ship from the first game. I think the Ishimura is what it's called, right? Yeah.
Ishimura.
And there's this really weird sequence where you open up into a that goes. You can go left or go right. So of course I did the thing where it's like you look at the thing, it's okay. It wants me to go right, so I'm gonna go left, right? So I go around. It's this big circular hallway, and it's large.
Yep.
And it's dark as fuck, and you can't see nothing. So I'm like slowly walking down this hallway, and I get to the end. And there's like a thing at the end. I do the thing. There's like an item or something. I think at the end. Like I got the item. I turn around. And there's a necromorph just walking behind me. Like he's not attacking me. He's not making any noise. He is just standing there and like walked towards. I think I actually stood up and yelled.
Yeah, Dead Space 2 is like peak fucking tension in a video game for me.
Yeah, Dead Space 2 is really good. The game's great.
Yeah,
okay, I have two I want to bring up. One from Dead Space 1, and the other just fucking slipped my mind. So I'm gonna go to Dead Space 1. When you come off of the train and you're about to start a level, and it's a place where everyone is dead, and it's just playing the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, like okay,
that's a good
I wasted 20 minutes in that room, stomping every head off of every corpse.
Yeah.
I am not going to get got.
Yeah,
I
remember that. I remember that too.
I remember what the other one was gonna say. It was from BioShock. It's the scene. It's the part where you're like, I don't remember what you're supposed to get. But you go to get something on a table, and as soon as you grab it, it's just this mist envelops you, like mist comes down from I don't know, all the vents. And I tried to back away from it, and I couldn't back up. I was like, "What the fuck's happening?" And I turn around, and there's just a doctor just in my face, staring, not doing anything. And it the first time I freaked out. I threw my controller. I didn't know what was going on. And the second time I knew it was gonna happen, I turned around and I looked at him. I just stared at him, and all he does is stare at you for 3 seconds, and then he just starts attacking you. But just the whole because they know that you'll look to check why you can't back up. It was just very, very well handled. Also when you get the shotgun for the first time, and it's there's just one light, and you hear people running around you. Yeah,
that scene is really good. That was really. I played BioShock super late because I got it for free when I got BioShock Infinite. Mm-hmm. So I that was when I played BioShock 1. Was after I beat BioShock Infinite. And I remember that scene. It was one of the ones I was like, "Damn, this game's great."
The scene where you're going through it's like a garden of some sort, and you've got a bunch of ghost shit happening around you was also a really well done scene.
Yeah, that was cool.
Another favorite scene from Dead Space 2 is the nursery sequence.
Yeah, I remember there was that
anything with kids is unsettling in that game.
Yeah. But my favorite. Let me go first.
Before you move on, the thing that's I wanted before because there's that bit in the nursery where you see the baby monster that blows up, and the mom in the window.
I wasn't even referring to that. I was referring to the because that's more like edgy, but I also like that because it's edgy.
Fucking up, though.
I preferred the stage play sequence.
That was alright. Yeah, that was cool. And you get the lamest jump scare of all time.
Yeah.
With the sun.
But the two best parts of Dead Space 2 are the guy banging his head, and the scare out of the save point.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was alright.
That one got me like the same level of like in Dead Space 1 where you're just in the elevator and it just breaks in with you at a certain point.
Yeah, that was good too.
I really liked, obviously there's like the one everyone talks about with Dead Space 2 is the eye shit. You gotta drill into your own eye.
Yeah.
And that was that was rough. And then that sequence at the end, it was a thing where I was an idiot. Did you guys like just understand like at the end you were supposed to run away?
Yes.
So I remember when I first played it, I just kept trying to kill that monster. And it's like, why does it not die?
I got it because I played Dead Space 1, and that was also the
I played Dead Space 1 after I played Dead Space 2.
Oh, wow.
So,
well, let me tell you, buddy. Let me tell you. That guy's a cunt, and I hate him.
Yeah, so I like, it was the thing where I was fighting him for like 20 minutes. I dumped all of my ammo into him, and I'm like, fuck, is he not dead?
Yeah, that just reminds me of Dead Space 3, where like you literally have a turret sequence where you're just shooting a shit ton of those that are coming at you, and then just get knocked out of an airlock. It's so lame because they don't even like regenerate. Like they're supposed to regenerate, right? But you're just you and your partner are just turret shooting at them, and they get blown out of an airlock, and it's so boring.
Hella lame.
Yeah,
you saying regenerate reminded me of something that like really got me. I was a teenager for this one. Resident Evil 4, the regenerators, yeah. Like I saw them and I was like, okay, whatever. And then I got the thing and I heard something from the other room and this breathing, like, and I remember I stopped playing and I just made a sandwich. I stopped right there because I was like, I'm not gonna deal with this right now.
Well, never mind.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I went back like an hour later, but I was like, God damn.
Y'all ever had that moment where, like, I mean, clearly Claude has, but just like when you're playing a game and something happens, you just pause and you're like, you know what? I'm good.
I'm done. I do that a lot in fighting games, actually. Where like I'll lose it today. Like, and I'm finished.
Yeah.
I think the first time that ever happened to me was because I think I've mentioned it before. Like the only DMC I've like actually played was DMC 4. I just was knowledgeable about the other ones to a certain extent, but like I'd always heard about how cool Dante was, and when I got to Dante and saw how many moves he fucking had, I remember I had to stop for a while, like because I was like, I need to take this all in. This is a lot of shit he can do. I love this.
For me, it was the ghost sequence, and the first ghost sequence in Evil Within 2. Where I'm just like, everything goes blue, and I'm like, oh, nah, I'm good. Saving. Like... Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Save and quit. I'm good. I'm gonna head out. I'll be back later.
She was the only part of that game that like really got me.
I think it was for me. It was
her sequences were really well done.
And yeah. I think Evil Within 2 was more cool than it is scary to me. Like it wasn't that scary, but it had really cool sequences in it.
It was super cool. She was the only thing that scared me. That, and then when you got to like the roaming boss, that was like, I was like, fucking Christ, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah. I think the only time I ever really had that feeling, so like it spooked me and I just put the game down. It happened in Silent Hill 2, and it wasn't like that was a scary noise or that scary monster. It was the bit where you have to jump in the hole, and I was like, you know what?
I don't feel like doing this.
Not right now.
Like, did you jump in the hole before you stopped, or was it when you have to jump in the hole?
It was like I got to it, and it was like there's this hole. You want
to jump in? Like, nah, I'm good.
Nah, I'm good. Not right now. I'll do that later.
Maybe later. Maybe in a bit. Oh man.
Yeah, that dungeon in Silent Hill 2 is really good. The one that's it's like I think it's the that's not the hospital. It's the one where you get after you cross the lake. So it's like whatever the dungeon is where you fucking fight 2 pyramid heads at the end. It's that one.
Ooh,
I forget what that building is supposed to be because it's like a non-Euclidean fucking nightmare hellscape. So I forget what it's supposed to be. But yeah, that sequence is.
Another one I know that got me was like the Redeads in Wind Waker.
Ooh.
Oh fuck! Okay, not in Ocarina of Time. The fucking graveyard monsters, the Redeads in those.
The hands?
The hand guy, yes, but also the zombies in that area that grab you and they suck your life out. Those things. The noise they make is horrible. It's horrible and it scared the shit out of me as a kid.
See if I can I'm trying to remember because I remember my skin actually crawled anytime I heard the Redeads or anytime I knew I had to go near one.
Because it had that like piercing shriek noise.
Yeah.
God, it fucked me up. It's as a kid, even now, I get angry from the nighttime noise in Ocarina of Time because of it. Like the owl thing.
Another game that fucks me up is Alien Isolation to the point where like I have to constantly reinstall that game because there's just a point where I get too spooked and I can't handle it. I just like
So you panic uninstall?
I
Those
panic.
are multiple steps.
No, it's like it's like I panic. It's at a point where like you're having to deal with both the robots and the alien at the same time. So it's like really early, and I just panic, and I stop, and like I think about starting up again, and I think about the panic, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna free up some space on my computer and just uninstall.
My only thing with that, the only reason I haven't played it is I heard that it's good for a while, but it suffers from the issue of it being too long.
It is very long, yes. Yeah, I haven't gotten far enough to get to the point where it's got really long, but I've heard it's also very long, yes.
I've also heard is that once you get the flamethrower, it's not as good because you can just make the alien go away.
Yeah, but like flamethrower stuff is like, you gotta make the juice for it. So it's like
I've gotten some situations like because the alien acts like an AI. It's not like scripted. So you get sometimes you get in situations that are really hard to get out of because like the alien is there. And there's other things you have to hide from in the same room when it's like, what am I supposed to do? And
get
just gonna
fucked,
die.
basically.
Really, the only reason that's a problem is because I don't like the game's save system. Because it actually has like hard game over on death and save points, not checkpoints. And so like that's whack. So you could lose. You could get trapped in a rough situation where like, how do I escape this? I'm gonna die, and then lose like a 45 minutes of progress, which is like rough.
Yeah,
that's why
Condemned 2 had a couple of parts that I was not a fan of.
I wish Condemned 2 was on PC so I could do that bear sequence.
That bear get. I guess everyone knows about it.
That's on Xbox 360, right?
Yeah, it was on last gen.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So the 3 parts that got me, one of them was just like it's funny, but it was like also kind of like creepy. I don't want to have to deal with this shit. Is you just go into a crack house for the second level, and there's crackheads who are so skinny that they just slip between the cracks in the walls and like scurry away.
Oh, what? Oh, nah.
The other one is, I think the 3rd level, maybe the 4th, is like a doll factory, and there's like a doll themed boss. I'm gonna see if I can find it. And then of course, the bear is like the most nerve-wracking thing in existence. Let me see if I can
uncomfortable.
Which one?
The fucking paper thin crackheads.
They're just super skinny crackheads, man. It's not like they don't like slip through the wall like they're Paper Mario, or it's like
because that's what I was.
It's just they're super skinny.
Okay, because that's what I was imagining in my head was paper thin crackheads. It's like that's spooky.
They're not fucking King Ramses from Courage the Cowardly Dog. You don't gotta worry about that.
King Ramses was a great episode. That show had some shit in it though. Like what was the episode? What was the episode where that guy came that was like a psychologist or something? I remember he was a creepy dude that was just kept saying the word naughty a lot. Don't be naughty.
Oh, the barber?
Yeah, that guy. Fuck that episode, man. That was no. Stop it.
You're not perfect.
Yeah, that one was fucked.
That one
I
really
don't
got,
like that.
that one got clawed right in his ego as a small child.
You're not perfect. I never thought I was perfect.
That's good, because that show would have told you otherwise.
Yeah, I didn't have this. I didn't have that weird complex like you might have.
I never thought I was perfect. I hate myself all the time. I have that thing where I'm like, man, I'm so much better than everybody else, but I'm also trash. You ever had, Skylar? You ever had that? Where you act kind of high and mighty at some things, but you're also like, think that you're trash.
No.
Oh.
I tend to only act high and mighty about myself, and
In pits.
I'm confident in my love of pits.
Fucking disgusting.
Leave this man alone about his pits.
No, it's disgusting. I'm mad.
It's not.
James, I don't. I'm not going to expose you here. This isn't an After Dark.
Oh man. Oh boy. You know what this is though? I believe this is the
podcast.
I believe this is the end of the podcast. Thank you everybody so much for joining us today on the Weekly Dadcast. I've been here with James, and Claude and Skylar have also been here, I guess, kind of. Make sure to check us out at weeklydadcast.popping.com. Hit us up on Twitter at officialdadcast. Remember to email your questions at officialdadcast@gmail.com. What else? We're also on iTunes. There's a Twitch stream thing at twitch.tv/weeklydadcast. Nope.
James, I put the crackheads in video.
Don't put the crackhead curse on me, man. I don't want that right now, okay? I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. Get that shit out of here. I'm trying to do this outro. I'm trying to
Look
show.
at these melee players.
No. Oh, all right, melee players got me. Fuck. Thank you everybody so much for watching. And have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Hasta.
Claude, say goodbye.
Yeah.